Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the fifth game of the Nippon series between the Oryx Buffaloes and the Hanshin Tigers. It is going to be a tough act to follow, as that ball game, the last two ball games, actually been very entertaining between these two ball clubs. But this here is going to be the pivotal game, with the winner taking a stranglehold on the series before they head back to the Kyocera Dome. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineups from the visitors for the Oryx Buffaloes. Had a notable change right off the hop. Leading off and playing in center field is number 30, Taishi Haruka. Batting second and playing third base, wearing number 6, is Yuma Mune. And the third spot and in right field is number 4, Tomoya Mori. Batting in the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting fifth and in left field, wearing number 99, is Yataro Sugimoto. Hitting sixth at second base, wearing number 8, is Marwin Gonzalez. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, wearing number 24, is Kataro Kirbayashi. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 29, Daiki Tajima. And they are going to be facing Kataro Otake, who takes to the hill for the Tigers, the former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk, having a breakout year for the Tigers with a 12-2 record. He worked 131 and 2/3 innings. He'd allowed 122 hits. He had given up 36 runs, 33 were earned. He'd walked only 12 and struck out 82, and he had an ERA of 2.26. Well, that's the starting lineup for the visitors from Oryx. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the Hanshin Tigers. Leading off in center field, wearing number 5, is Koji Chikamoto. Batting second and wearing number 51 is the second baseman, Takumu Nakano. Hitting third and playing in right field, wearing number 1, is Shota Morishita. In the cleanup spot and playing first base, wearing number 3, is Yusuke Oyama. Batting fifth in left field, wearing number 7, is Sheldon Noisy. Hitting in the sixth spot and playing third base, wearing number 8, is Teruaki Sato. Batting seventh and doing the catching, wearing number 12, is Seishiro Sakamoto. Hitting eighth and playing shortstop, wearing number 0, is Seiya Kanami. And batting ninth and doing the pitching, wearing number 49, is Kataro Otake. And it is going to be the Daiki Tajima on the mound for the Buffaloes. In the regular season, he had a 6-4 record. He'd worked 81 and 2/3 innings. He'd allowed 73 hits, 31 runs, 28 of which were earned. He'd walked 18 and struck out 64. He had an earned run average of 3.09. Well, that's your starting lineup for both of these ball clubs tonight. And we are going to give you quickly the keys to success, or what we feel are going to be the keys to success to this ball game. For the Tigers tonight, the top of the order has to continue to set the table, and that is Koji Chikamoto. Of course, the second baseman as well, Nakano. Those two are going to have to get on base. And then in turn, the middle of the order has got to wake up and produce. They are starting to show a little bit of glimmers of that. Of course, with Oyama last night driving in the winning run with a base hit, Sheldon Noisy has moved up into that middle 3 of the batting order as he is starting to produce. But that is what they're going to need to do. And then I believe that they need Ken Otake to go at least 6 strong innings to be able to have a chance for the Tigers to take the 3-2 lead in the series. On the other side of the coin, the Oryx Buffaloes, it is also their top of the order that's going to have to continue the role tonight with Haruka, Mune, and Mori in the 1, 2, 3 spots. They're going to have to continue to get on base. The middle part of the order, Sugimoto, Gonzalez, and Tongu, they're going to have to drive in the runs. And Sugimoto noted in the lineup here tonight, his first appearance in the Nippon series. And then it is going to be Daiki Tajima on the hill to have to get ahead in the count. He's going to have to be economical with his pitches, and he's going to have to get ahead early and often. Those are our keys to success for tonight's ball game for the two ball clubs. We're going to be back in just a couple moments with all the action when we return. Appreciate you guys for hanging here with us. It is going to be the Tigers and the Buffaloes when we return in just a few. Appreciate everybody back in here. Nicholas Palmer, Influence, Victor, oh hi. News from the other side, our friend Titus, and everybody else who pops into the stream. We appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be back in just a couple months with all the action as this one is about to get underway in just a few. Welcome back, everybody, and we are ready to get underway as the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball delivered to Taishi Haruka, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Haruka, 5 for 15 in the playoffs, swings at a fastball and grounds it over to short. Fielding it neatly is Kanami. He throws to first, and there is one Buffalo up and one Buffalo down here in the top of the first inning. That goes in the books as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. For Mune, he is 9 for 30 in the playoffs. He's batting an even 300. He's got no homers and 5 runs driven in. Mune certainly has been the clutch performer in situations here in the playoffs, and last night was no different. He was able to pick himself up a couple of RBIs. Mune batting from the left side against the lefty Otake, and he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. We've got our friend Louis in the house as well. We appreciate you for being here. Going to be a big game tonight. Game 5 of the series between the Buffaloes and the Tigers. Winner gets the stranglehold on the series. The return going to the Kyocera Dome on Saturday. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And now the count is 0-2. So Otake has come out firing strikes the first 4 pitches of the ball game, all in the strike zone. And the 0-2 offering is a breaking ball that misses a wide and away from Mune in the other batter's box, and the count is 1-2. It was a pretty good waist pitch by Otake. There's a fastball that comes inside, and it just backs Mune off the plate, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last night, we made the note of how Sato got yanked out of the game after he'd made the error. And as the Tigers had seen enough, had 3 strikeouts in the game, booted a ball. Well, Kai Nakagawa is feeling the wrath today. He is not in the starting lineup as the fastball just misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-2. Haruka getting the nod in center field. He's had a pretty good playoff up to this point. So Nakagawa probably getting an opportunity to clear his head after he dropped that ball in right center last night. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle. Fielded on the backhand side by the second baseman, Nakanu. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Mune on a ground out 4-3. So 2 up and 2 away here in the first inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Tomoya Mori. Well, for Mori, he is entering tonight's fray 10 for 31. He's got a homer and 2 RBIs in the playoffs. Both he and Mune really leading the charge, and with a healthy Yuma Tongu, he could jump in and join the mix as well. So here comes the first offering from the lefty. He delivers a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. All I keep thinking about is with Otake on the mound here, coulda, woulda, shoulda for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. They were in dire need of starting pitching all year. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the third base line. Giving chase is Sato, but he's going to watch it drift into the seats, and the count now is 0-2 to Mori. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty gets himself a new baseball, and he's rubbing it up, ready to go back to face Mori again. Here comes the 0-2. Pitch, fastball, misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. As I say, thinking about the Fukuoka Ball Club, if they would have had Otake, their starting pitching woes probably wouldn't have been as pronounced as they were when we got late into the season. But this is the finest year of the lefty's career by far. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mori as he waits here on the lefty, who kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down and away, and the count runs even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Be curious to see who these 2 teams are going to lean toward in game 6 and 7 of the series. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away right at the feet of Mori. And the count remains at 2-2. Beautiful night again for baseball in the Kansai region, as both of these clubs here looking to get that lead in the series here tonight. This time has been called as there's some gamesmanship going on between Otake and Maury here. And now Otake has got himself set and he delivers. Fastball swung on, and this one's fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Otake, it was like a quick pitch there. Is for certain. Looks like he tried to quick pitch to Moyamori. Didn't really come set very quickly, and even there's nobody on, he does throw from the set position and just let her rip. So here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball, swung on, grounded softly over to first, fielded by Oyama. He's going to take it himself. That's going to go down as a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. And that's going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through a half inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Tigers coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in the bottom of the first when we return right after this. We appreciate you guys for checking in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the first inning. It is going to be Koji Chikamoto, Takumu Nakano, and Shota Morishita. Our friend Zay has rejoined us as a member. We appreciate him and your support of our channel, Zay. We thank you for doing that. Our friend Victor says the Tigers got expert pitching, Buffaloes have got expert hitting. Yeah, that would probably be true. In some ways, I think the edge goes to the Tigers, but not a huge edge. I do like the bullpen for the Buffaloes, and I do like some of their starters as well. Our friend, the Analog Geek, says he's listening in on his way home via the Hibiya-sen in Tokyo. Well, we appreciate you for listening in as we are ready to resume the action here, as it'll be Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita to come to bat. And the first pitch here from the lefty Tajima is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. For Chikamoto in the playoffs, he is 8 for 26. He's got no homers and 5 runs batted in. Batting from the left side against the lefty Tajima, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-1. Now, where the Analog Geek is, I'm not sure exactly where Hibiya-sen is in Tokyo. When I have stayed in Tokyo, it's usually been in Asakusa, that Saitama area. Or, sorry, not Saitama, but where the river is on the other side, as there's a fastball swung on, and this is going to be grounded through the 4-hole into right field for a base hit. Chikamoto is aboard with a leadoff single. The Samita River, as it escaped me for just a couple of moments, where the Asahi Brewery would be, and of course where the sumo wrestlers or the Grand Hall is as well. The Metro line. So he's riding the train right now. I understand. So that brings up the second baseman, Takuma Nakano, and he's already showing that he's squaring to bunt. As Chikamoto establishes his lead over at first base, the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. Count is 1-0. Nakano in the playoffs is 6 for 27. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. Again, he's already squaring to bunt here against the lefty Tajima. As Tajima works to the set position, here comes the offering. As he kicks and delivers, it is bunted down, and it's back to the pitcher. And it's bobbled by Tajima. He throws to first, and it's not going to be in time. And that is going to be an error charged to the pitcher. This is the second time in consecutive nights that we've seen the Buffaloes pitcher unable to come up with the play. And that is going to be costly, as that's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Shota Morishita. Unbelievable. All I keep thinking about is the 2006 Detroit Tigers when they couldn't field their position in the World Series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Whether it be bunts or throwing balls into the bullpen or trying to pick runners off or just being able to outright field ground balls, it was a complete disaster. Well, that's the second on consecutive nights here, and as Morishita steps to the plate. 6 for 27 for the right-handed hitting right fielder. In the playoffs, he's got no homers and 3 RBIs, and he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As we said at the top of the stream, the keys to the game, at least in my eyes for the Tigers, the top of the order has to set the table. Well, you can check those boxes right away. Now the middle or the order has got to start driving some runs in, and they've got the opportunity right here to do that. No balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Tajima. As he kicks and delivers, fastball that just misses down and in. And the count goes even at 1-1. Our friend, the Analog Geek, says, if you want a comedy of errors, go check out the 2015 wildcard game between the Royals and Oakland. Yeah, I think I remember a little bit of that as well. It does ring a bell. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't there something like 8 errors in the ball game or something crazy like that? And one of the games in the series, definitely not postseason worthy. So Morishita steps out of the batter's box as Tajima is going to go to the rosin bag, and now we're ready to go again. There's a fastball swung on it. It's a check swing over to the right side of the infield. Gonzalez fields it. He backhand flips it to second base. That's going to retire Nakano. That was a gutsy play by Marwin Gonzalez. Looked like it might have been the only play for him would have been to first base. But he was able to get it, and he provided a good backhand flip over to the shortstop, Kirbiashi. He was really flat-footed. Didn't have any momentum pushing him toward the bag, but he was able to make the play. That's going to be a fielder's choice. Nakano is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. It'll go in the books as a 4-6 putout. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Yusuke Oyama. And it's also going to bring the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki, out in front of the plate to provide the first and third defense to the Buffaloes here. So Oyama was the hero in last night's ball game, as he had drove in a couple of runs yesterday and the sayonara single in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the ball game for the Tigers. He is 4 for 25 in the playoffs with no homers and 2 RBIs. That might have been just the tonic to wake Oyama up. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Oyama. Our other key to success in this one here tonight for the Buffaloes was Tajima making sure he gets ahead in the counts, and that will have to be a key here for him moving forward. Good hitters counts here for the Tigers could make them pay. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses down, the count goes to 2-0. Former Oakland A and LA Dodger Sheldon Noisy waits his turn on deck. I always find it entertaining when you get a chance to look at the dugout. They pan the managers and how they are, and certainly the manager for the Buffaloes, Nakajima, looks like a disinterested third party right now, the way he's sitting in the dugout. Disgusted with the start. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Oyama. Whereas on the Tigers side, the manager often looks like the unimpressed uncle. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field, moving over toward the foul line and in foul territory. He slides, and does he make the catch? And we can't tell if it has been a catch by Maury or not, or if that ball dropped in. We're going to have to wait and take a look here. It does look like no, he doesn't come up with it. Had he made the catch, Koji Chikamoto was tagging at third, and he would have scored easily on that one. So maybe it was in the best interests of Tomoya Mori to drop the ball. We'll find out here in a moment. If Oyama grounds himself into a double play, then you could say that was the right decision not to make the catch. Of course, Mori is a catcher by trade, not a regular outfielder. Or at least not a regular outfielder in what we've witnessed over the last few seasons, both with the Buffaloes and the Saitama Sea Blue Lions. So the lefty Tajima holds set at the belt, and now he's ready to deliver. And it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count runs full to Oyama. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As a reminder, we will be back on the airwaves again on Saturday for Game 6 of the series at the Kyocera Dome. So no matter what the outcome is tonight, there will be a Game 6, and then it's going to get exciting from there on out. It'll be all elimination games from that point there. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Oyama. Runner at third, Chikamoto. Runner at first, Morishita. Keep our eye on Morishita here to see if they put him in motion, maybe to try to stay, if anything, out of the double play in the event there is that up the middle. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away right at home plate, and the count remains at 3-2. Our analog geek says, yes, indeed. You got it on that one there. That is for sure. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield is in double play depth up the middle, as both the shortstop Kirbiashi and Marwin Gonzalez in position to be able to turn 2. In fact, I'll even say this, they might even be a little bit more in. They might even be more than double play depth, even a couple of steps more on this dirt. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The throw goes down to second base as Morishita is racing there. He is safe at second. So it's going to be a strike amount, but there was no throw amount. But the manager, Nakajima, is going to want to go to the replay here. He's on the top of the dugout giving the signal. So we're going to see if they were able to nail Morishita or not. Morishita tried to slide to the outfield side of the base. We're going to get a look at this on the replay. We'll see where it is there, as the throw was a little bit short. I think that, boy, oh boy, I don't know if Gonzalez got the tag on him or not. The ball was certainly in time, even though it was to the right field side of the bag. But the other thing that I would have to say is that, at least in my world, I would probably be challenging the interference of the hitter. Oyama struck out, and he walked right across in front of the catcher, Wakatsuki. The home plate umpire did not seem to be fazed by any of that. That, to me, was probably the bigger call than the throw down at second base, but we'll have to wait and see here if Morishita is going to be in there safely. But Oyama goes in the books as a strikeout for sure for out number 2. Victor asks the question, does the NPB use a pitch clock? No, they don't. And if not, do they have plans to implement it? They did say that they are going to meet on it in the off season. And to be honest with you, Victor, I think typically speaking, what we have seen with Japanese baseball, or what I've seen with Japanese baseball, is that if the Americans are going to do something, the Japanese often will follow suit. Maybe not always at the same time or schedule, but they do follow suit. And based on the reaction, I think here come the umpires. We're going to see if that challenge is going to be upheld or not. But the way the tag was on Gonzalez, at first I didn't think Gonzalez got the tag in. But then upon the last replay, I looked at the jersey of the player Morishita, and it looked like there may have been contact. So I'm not sure what angles that the umpires are going to have. We had a couple of them here, so we'll wait and see. As we continue to wait on the call. The other thing I would say is our friend Victor says about the pitch clock, and that is I would love to see where you've got 60 seconds to make a decision. Right now, we are now approaching over 2 minutes and waiting for the umpires to come back, and the pitcher's got to wait. Breaks up the rhythm and the timing. We're taking a look at it. If it takes you this long to have to make the decision, as far as I'm concerned, then what needs to happen is they need to go with the call on the field and let it stand. Because if you can't see what it is, that becomes the problem. Our friend the Analog Geek says the Central League DHs, well, the Pacific League DHs and the Central League lets the pitchers hit, but as Otake has come off the mound, or not off the mound, he's come off the front of the dugout as he's been playing catch, as he waits for this long extended play. Tajima is playing catch with the first baseman now. That's the one frustrating part about the replays, is it just breaks up the continuity and the rhythm. And here's Tajima standing out there on the mound, flipping the ball back and forth with the first baseman, waiting for the decision. We could probably go have a nap and relax and put our feet up here before they actually have to make the call. It was bang, bang play. And again, we're waiting on the decision here. And here comes the decision, and up goes the right hand, and they are going to rule that it is going to be caught stealing, as Morishita is going to be erased. That's going to go in the books as a 2-4 caught stealing. He's gone for out number 3. And that is going to do it here in the inning. Well, no runs for the Tigers. There was a hit. There was no errors, and a runner left the board. We're now through 1 complete. We will be back here in just a moment. It'll be the heart of the order coming to bat for the Buffaloes when we return. And our friend William Scott is in the house tonight. We appreciate you guys for being here, and we'll be right back in just a few. We'll be back here in just a couple moments, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Hang tight. We'll see you in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend the Analog Geek said no, it was in reply of the NPB following suit with MLB rules. Yeah, I was going to say that part there for sure, but generally speaking, historically, when there's been major rule changes, the NPB has followed suit with what the Americans have done. And I say major rule changes. It's not all the time. I am curious to know if they're going to go with bigger bases. I am curious to know if they're going to implement the pitch clock. I'm also interested to know if they're going to implement the throw over to first base rule and how many times you can throw over to first base with the runner on. And I guess those will be the off-season discussions that we're going to have to wait and see. Our friend William Scott said it was out. He said he got him on the helmet. I didn't see it on the helmet, but I saw the back of the jersey looked like it had kind of moved as the tag was applied. But that's the way it kind of goes. William Scott says the home plate umpire has one of the best called strikes I've ever seen. Curious if this is the umpire who's got the called third strike, where he looks like he is literally punching something out. Well, we're ready to resume the action here, as it's going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Buffaloes. It'll be Tongu, Sugimoto, and Gonzalez. For Yuma Tongu, he is 5 for 16 in the playoffs. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs. That homer here came a couple of nights ago to left center field, almost straightaway center field, but to the left of center field. So Tongu here batting to lead things off in the second. First pitch is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Tongu. Tongu led the Pacific lead in batting average during the year as he takes a fastball for a called strike. Counts 0-2. Our friend William says one of the best called strikes. Looks like he's pumping a fist and shaking somebody's hand as he does it. As there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Otake delivers. There's a slow breaking ball swung on. It is hit to the third baseman, Sato, and it goes off his glove into left field. We're going to see how they rule it. But the tough night from last night now continues here in this one. It was a one-hop shot, and I think that's going to be fair. Off the glove of Sato into left field. I think they'll rule that as a hit. That ball was hit off the end of the bat by Tongu. The ball always seems to find the weakest link, and when somebody makes an error, it just seems to go back and back and back again to them. Of course, Sato's last defensive play last night in the ball game was a boot off the heel of the glove. Well, this brings Yutaro Sugimoto to the plate, his first Nippon Series action, as he takes a fastball upstairs, and the count is 1-0. He's 6 for 14 in the playoffs with no homers and 3 RBIs. Our friend the Analog Geek says it looks like a hit to him, and I think that that's how I would rule it as well. Of course, we're not the official scorer, and we've seen some strange things. So 1 ball and no strikes to Sugimoto as he waits here from the lefty Otake. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Left-hander against the right-hander. Otake delivers. It's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Sugimoto. That last fastball looked more of a cutter than anything else. It just came in under the hands of the right-handed hitting Sugimoto. Often wonder, I've talked about it before, as there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Sugimoto goes in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the switch hitting second baseman Marwin Gonzalez. One of the things I mentioned the other day was about how hitters have the need to play every day. And the reason for that is it's their timing. They need to get the timing on the pitching that they see on a daily basis. It's nothing worse than playing a day and then having a couple of days off, playing a day and having 3 days off. Very, very difficult. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed by Gonzalez, and the count is 0-1. So for Sugimoto missing the first 4 games of the Nippon Series, add on top of that the week that the Buffaloes had to wait in between series between winning the Pacific League and playing in the Nippon Series. Almost going on 2 full weeks without seeing an at-bat. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So just the timing of seeing that live pitching, and we'll wonder to see how long exactly it'll take Sugimoto to get going. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. On top of it, there's nothing like seeing game-like pitching, because when you're getting the machines or you're getting the side pitchers, I'm sure that there's probably some second team or farm pitchers they've kept around, not on the roster to throw. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Marwin Gonzalez has got a single. That's going to advance Tongu over to second. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kentaro Kobayashi. But again, facing pitching in practice is not like facing pitching in the game. Your emotions run a little bit different. The crowd atmosphere, everything else that goes into it makes it all a little bit more different. So runners at first and second. Kobayashi is the hitter here as he hits from the right side, waiting on the offering here from Otake. Kobayashi has enjoyed a decent playoff run. He's at 7 for 27. He's got no homers and 4 RBIs. Takes a fastball upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Racing back on the warning track and making the catch is Morishita. Tagging at second and heading over to third is Tongu. Kobayashi sent that one the other way, and he sent it for a deep run, but just not deep enough. Morishita makes that catch to retire Kobayashi for the second out, and it's going to bring up Kenya Wakatsuki. Well, speaking of players who are playing every other day, Wakatsuki has basically been platooning behind the plate with Tomoya Mori. Mori will catch a game like he did last night, and then he will play in the outfield the next night. Or Wakatsuki had the night off last night. Mori was doing the catching. But Wakatsuki is 5 for 18 in the playoffs. He's got no homers and 4 RBIs. Victor says that he agrees that no amount of simulation can match the real thing. That's absolutely it. There used to be a fellow who played in the big leagues. He represented Canada. His name was Mark Tian. One of the fellows who used to work with me was friends with Tian, and Tian was talking about when he was retired for a couple of years, and then him and his wife decided that they wanted to go spend some time in Italy, and he decided he wanted to play in the Italian league, and I forget who he went and he signed with. And he was talking about how the Italian league, and I'll talk about this in a moment, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1 to Wakatsuki. The Italian league, you got a guy in one game, he's pitching 90 miles an hour, and he's a legit arm, and then you got somebody else in the next game throwing 78, and you're only playing 2 to 3 times a week, so it's tough to get your timing over there as well. And you're practicing on the another couple of times a week, so you never really get the timing to be able to play. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside, and the count is 1-1 to Wakatsuki. We never did give the lineup defensively for the ball clubs tonight. The Tigers defensively, from left to right field, it's Noisy in left. The center fielder is Chikamoto, and in right field, Morishita. Pretty much the same lineup for every game of the series. Oyama is the first baseman, Nakano at second, Kanami at short, and the third baseman is Sato, with the battery of Otake and Sakamoto. As there is a breaking ball that misses, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Wakatsuki. The pitcher, Tajima, waits his turn on deck. So they do have an open base in the event that they decide to have to go to face the pitcher here. So they don't have to be too good to Wakatsuki. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the lefty holds to the set. Here he delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count runs even now to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full house, full crowd at the Cochin for this one, as expected. Season of the played at the Cochin Stadium. Everything else will be at the Kyocera Dome. And there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Wakatsuki stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it. No runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the second inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Tigers 0. Our friend Banjo has made it in tonight. We appreciate you for jumping in here. We'll be right back in just a few with all the action after this from our friend of the channel, Eric Fox.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred with Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat for the Tigers in the bottom of the second inning. That means Sheldon Neuse, Teruki Sato, and Seishiro Sakamoto, as they will be facing the lefty Hideki Tajima here for his second inning of work. Neuse 6 for 26 in the playoffs. As we had mentioned, he's just starting to get things rolling here over the last 3 ball games. Most of his work has been done in these ones, so he is heating up here as he comes into the action tonight. So Tajima has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume. As we said before, it is a little bit different in the playoffs here, certainly in this portion of the playoffs in the Japan series. They take a little bit extra time in between innings, not quite like the regular season. So they got to get a few extra commercials and got to make a few bucks somehow. So Neuse steps to the plate, batting from the right side here against the lefty Tajima, who is ready to deliver. And he kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, from left to right field, it is Sugimoto in left, Haruka in center, and Mori in right. Not exactly the Gold Glove defensive unit, as that fastball misses outside, and the count is 1-1. But of course, we say that, and it wasn't the Gold Glove unit on display last night, the way that Nakagawa dropped a ball in right center field. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side. Fielded by Gonzalez, he throws to first, and Noisy's in the books on a ground out, 4-3. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Teruaki Sato. Our friend Rhodes Scholar has made it in. He says, let's go Buffaloes, and good morning from New York. We appreciate you for getting up early here with us, Rode. And tonight it is tea on the docket. Maybe some halftime soup. Keep us going here tonight. Well, Sato had a miserable playoff, to say the least. For those of you who are Tiger fans, it has been a tough run for him. 4 for 27. And the strikeouts keep mounting as he swings at a breaking ball and lifts it into a left center field. This is going to help get off the schneid. It's going to get down in front of the center fielder, Haruka. And rounding into second base is the runner, Sato. He's got himself a leadoff double. Oh, that's got to take the monkey off the back for sure for the big fella. So he is aboard with a 1-out double, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. So here I am tossing him under the bus and driving it over Sato. But that's about as realistic as it can be. He has really had himself a tough series. And not just the Japan series, it's just a tough playoff period. So he slides in safely at second. He puts the oven mitts on. And now that is going to bring up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. Sakamoto, 4 for 23 in the playoffs. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. As the lefty Tajima kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. It's definitely one piece that is a problem is when you watch some of that stuff and you see guys, they just seem to struggle. We have to do a quick little reset here because we have temporarily lost our feed down. It's been pretty reliable last night. Even tonight it has been as well. So we've got 1 ball and no strike to Sakamoto as it just gets itself refired back up again. I guess that's what happens when things are free. You have to struggle a little bit here and there and have to grind your way through it. So we've got 1 ball and 1 strike here now to Sakamoto. Didn't see where that last pitch was. As the 1-1 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and missed. And now the count goes to 1-2. Last pitch was up in the zone, so it looks like we're going to have a little struggle on our hands here. As we have, maybe it's not a game 3 struggle like we had the other night, but probably a struggle nonetheless just to make sure we've got our feed all set up and ready to go. There's nothing like the white circle that spins around, telling you that you can't quite get your feed. So 1-2 to Sakamoto here with the runner Sato at second and 1 gone. We have our B feed, but our B feed's doing something similar. But we'll have to catch up on this. It looks like that there was a ball hit into right center field. Racing over to his right is Haruka. He's going to make the catch. Sakamoto is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. It's going to advance Sato over to third, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. Well, for Kanami, he has enjoyed himself a pretty hot playoff. He is 11 for 25. It looks like that he's going to get to first base. Now, the question is how did he get to first base? Did they put him on or did they hit him? Because, again, our feed is a bit choppy right now. And it looks like they may have given the 4 fingers to put him on. And it'll bring up Kotaro Otake, the pitcher, to the plate, if that is the case. So by all accounts, that's an intentional walk, and Otake, the pitcher, will be coming to the plate. So not a bad decision in that spot. Otake, 4 for 41 during the season, hit below 100. 0.98 batting average as he bats here from the left side against the left-hander Tajima, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that comes in for a called strike. Oh, the batter, Otake, was doing the moonwalk out of the batter's box as it looked like the pitch was coming at him, and it just floated across the plate for the called strike. So no balls and 1 strike it is. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner. And the count now goes to 0-2. Our friend Sean Crosby says, by the way, not to be... He says Otake. Like, yeah, sometimes I do the translate. Some of the names, they work, but sometimes not so much. So there is a fastball that misses, and the count now goes to 1-2. Clarkson-san in Japan in the house here as well. We appreciate everybody for being here. And the only thing is, though, Sean, I can't do it with any accent. That's the problem. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the lefty delivers it, it's a breaking ball. Swung on and missed. And we'll stick with that. We'll go Otake down on strikes for the third out of the inning. as he is going to be gone for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Buffaloes nothing and the Tigers nothing. Appreciate everybody for jumping in here. We'll be fine here in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be seeing the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes here. It'll be Tajima, Haruka, and Mune to come to bat here in the 3rd inning. Appreciate Sean for chiming in. And, at the end of the day, too, we do want to get it right. It's not that we're doing it on purpose or anything of that nature. So certainly some names are easier to make the call than others, at least with our tongue. And sometimes that is also the challenge, is knowing some of the enunciation and where do you put certain vowels, what are silent, what are not, how things are delivered. And so that's just the way it kind of goes. But we do appreciate the feedback in that regards, and we'll continue to work on it, especially when I got a chance to sit and listen to the announcers at the games when I was in Saitama, of course, announcing the players' names. Sosuke Genda was one that we've always had challenges with. And, of course, getting that to happen in Ryosuke Tatsumi for the Golden Eagles, another one. So when we got opportunities to listen to some of the enunciation, it helps clean our stuff up as well. Our friend Nash in the house here, and we're glad you can make it in, Nash. We haven't seen you in a while. And Victor says, just like how noisy is pronounced as well. There's a first pitch fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Tajima. I have some friends here in the Lower Mainland that I do try to get some help from them as well. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is hit foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 1-2. Sean says when he was with the Dodgers, sounded like Noisy's name was Noose. Well, maybe they were hanging it, that's for sure. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-2. I think Nash is asking if I had ever been to a J-League game, soccer game, or the baseball games. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side, and the count remains at 2-2 to Tajima. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lefty Otake delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled off the catcher, Sakamoto, and the count is going to remain at 2-2. Nash said soccer. No, when I was in Hiroshima, I think the soccer team in Hiroshima was going on for that, was going on at the time. But I didn't catch a game. There's a ball that's chopped back to the pitcher. Otake comes off the mound. He fields it over the shoulder. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Tajima. It's going to be a ground out 1-3. So I have a feeling we're probably going to be sticking with Otake till the end of the ball game here tonight, at least anyways, until we can get our time to practice afterwards. That's what I've got in my mind. Otherwise, we'll be flipping back and forth. But that is, I made the mental note and the note on the back page as well, courtesy of Sean. Our friend GZDA is in the house here again from France tonight. We appreciate you for being here. Gazda, I think. I'm not sure how we would say that. So the top of the order, Taishi Haruka at the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to the shortstop his first time up. 5 for 16 in the playoffs. As the pitch is on the way, there's a very slow breaking ball that misses outside. That last pitch trucked up at 58 kilometers or 59 miles an hour, 98 kilometers an hour, and he comes back with a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0. Having to do the quick math as the kilometers are what is produced. But I work off of miles per hour. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. It's kind of like Fahrenheit and Celsius. Got to flip it back and forth for me to be able to make it work, as that fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count's now 2-2. So we'll take back into the rhythm here again, as he is definitely moving back and forth. Well, the manager's got something to say right now, does the Tigers. Can't always get the context. Usually there's not a lot of whole lot of engagement between the managers and the umpires. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field, taking a couple of steps to his right and bringing it in is Noisy, and that is going to retire Haruka. The ball on the screws, but right to the glove of the left fielder. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Our friend Victor says he loves the NPB and KBO because it reminds him of old school baseball. 100%. We were touching on it a little bit last night in the stream, and we were saying somebody had come in and said, hey, what's better? Just the style and the brand of the game is much more entertaining. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yuma Mune. Mune 0 for 1 tonight, grounded out to second his first time up. 9 for 31 on the season. As the lefty delivers, there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. And the problem is that the Japanese are grappling with it. I had a meeting just pre-pandemic, as there is a fastball swung on and it's tapped foul over on the first base side. The count is 1-2. I was in a meeting with the Japanese Baseball Federation and had a chance to meet the executive director and a couple of the other folks in the office there. And they obviously were talking about how people want to see home runs. People want to see that as part of the game. And it's true, it's exciting. But Major League Baseball has become strikeouts and home runs, and not a whole lot in between. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is hit up the middle for a base hit. And Yuma Mune's got himself a 2-out single past the diving glove of the second baseman, Nakano. And Mune is aboard here with 2 gone, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Tomoya Mori. Our friend Nash says, has anybody else noticed how the logos for everything have gotten worse? Saw a post comparing the 90s to what we just saw in 2023. There's always styles. I mean, I don't know if things get way worse. All I have to do is point to the Houston Astro uniforms of the early 80s. I could care not to see those ever again on a major league field. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Not that it was the colors, just the design and the style of how it was presented. Not a huge fan. So there's always the arguments for different things. No balls and 1 strike to Mori. Nash says he's not a fan of the minimalist movement. I think there's a lot of things we're not a fan of right now, but we are a fan of good baseball, and that's what we're witnessing in the last couple of games. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2 on Mori. So no balls and 2 strikes. I got to say, Mori does not get cheated with his swings. I was saying the other night in the game when Randall Simon played in the big leagues, he was with the Pirates and the Tigers and a few other teams. It looked like he started swinging when he came out of the dugout. Well, that's what Tomoya Mori reminds me of. Fastball misses outside, and the count is now 1-2. Sean says it could be the SoftBank logo. Actually, the third logo that SoftBank has with the hawk on their hat kind of looks like a German flag or a German bird. The hawk that they have, it actually is kind of cool. I don't know if I like it on the all black hat when they have the hawk, but I think it's kind of an interesting piece. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Maury. So certain uniforms and certain logos I kind of like. I'm not sure if I necessarily like the lack of creativity on a Yakult Swallow hat. Even the Hanshin Tiger hat here, with HT, I think it's pretty plain Jane. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 3-2. But I did like the hat, not the red and black stuff that the fighters were wearing, but they wore a hat. It almost looked like a sunburst back in the month of August, early August, with their powder blue jerseys, and it kind of looked pretty cool. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Maury. The runner at first, Mune, will be on the move when the pitch is delivered. As Maury taps the other side of the plate, waiting here on the offering from the lefty. We're here in the top of the third inning. I always kind of measure, I always think if we can get through 3 innings in an hour, we're on a good pace. This has got another 4-hour affair shaping up. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Maury's down on strikes. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their third inning. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 runner left to board. We are now through 2.5. It is the Buffaloes no score and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the third when we return in just a few. Appreciate y'all for listening in. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher making his first appearance of the night. If you don't know who he is, be sure to check out his channel afterwards. He is kind of wild and crazy, but a big supporter of our channel.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
We are going to be moving to the bottom of the third inning in just a few. We'll be right back after this. It is a 0-0 ball game as we are moving to the last half of the third. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order: Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita to come to bat here in the third inning. I'm just curious to know where Sean is located. I'll give you my thoughts in a minute on the hats, as I was in a couple of stores in Asia last month as there was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. When I was in Korea, I'd flown into Incheon, and then I went into spent about a day in South Korea, and I went into the city, took a bus in. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 0-2. And I saw the I went into a Major League Baseball store. They had an apparel store, mainly hats and, clothing, shirts, jackets, that kind of stuff. And the teams that are pushed are certainly the Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox. Surprised the Tigers actually made an appearance there. I saw them as teams that they were pushing. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2 now to Chikamoto. Chikamoto 1 for 1 tonight, had a single to lead off the ball game, but they couldn't cash him in. He was stranded at third base. So just some of the stuff that's being put out, regardless, people are purchasing, but it's nothing to do with any logos or birds or Friars or anybody else that's on there, as that fastball misses down and the count goes to 2-2. Sean says he lives in Sapporo. Big fan of the new Fighters unis. Look like the Blue Jays. Yeah, I kind of like the Fighters. I didn't like the one with the collared shirt. I wish I would have taken a picture of that. I had a friend of mine who works for Mizuno. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it is the center fielder Haruka, and he makes the catch. And Chikamoto is retired for the first out of the inning. So one gone here, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Takumu Nakano. What I was referring to is the red and black jersey that they wore with the collars. I did not like that at all. But I certainly did like what the rest of the uniform had to offer. And certainly the Fighters are trending in the right direction in terms of their young core that they're putting together. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. There was a fella who did our camps and clinics years ago, maybe about 10 years ago now. He was actually drafted in the third round of the development draft by the Fighters last year. Had about 130 at-bats in the farm league. There was a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-1. Crimson Shadow back in the house tonight. Welcome you to the stream. There's a fastball swung on. This is grounded up the middle past the glove of the shortstop Kobayashi. And Nakano is going to be aboard with a one-out single. So he is at first. That's going to bring up the right fielder Shota Morishita. I have a feeling tonight we could be in for a long haul here. For some reason, I can sniff a tie in this game. In the event that we had a tie, obviously the next two games are at the Kyocera Dome, and Game 8 would also be at the Kyocera Dome. And I think that would go on the Monday night, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there'll be a day off between Game 7 and Game 8. Crimson Shadow says, those uniforms were so bad they were good. Yeah, that's kind of how you have to look at that. There's a fastball swung on. This is fouled away behind home plate, and the count is 0-1. Victor says, lots of base runners, only a matter of time before they start crossing the plate. Yeah, it's been one of those nights we only had the first inning. The top of the first was a 1-2-3 inning. After that, it has not been much. Our friend Jose, the resident Fighters fan, says, no, they were terrible. Yes, they were. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Kobayashi goes to second for one, back to first, and that's going to be an inning-ending double play. That is the unconventional 1-2-3 inning. But that is going to put them in the books here for outs number 2 and 3. Well, for the Tigers, no runs in the inning. There was the hit. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We are now through 3 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Tigers 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for listening in. It's Game 5 of the DuPont series, and we are giving it to you on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Thanks for jumping in here with us tonight. And here is our friend Steve Rademacher once again.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check Check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters to come to bat will be Yuba Tongu, Yutaro Sugimoto, and Marwin Gonzalez. Our friend Sean asked the question, isn't Game 8 not allowed to be a tie? You forgot the rule. The first 6 games of the series, as far as I understand it to be, can end in a tie. It is from Game 7 and onward that they can't end in ties. So in the event that this game ends in a tie tonight, arguably Game 6 could also end in a tie. And then that would guarantee a Game 7, a Game 8, and even potentially a Game 9. But I don't think we've ever seen a Game 9. There has been a Game 8, and if I remember correctly, it involved the Hiroshima Carp a few years back. But I'd have to go back and do my research on that as well. Fred, the Analog Geek says, are you in Japan? How are you watching the game? Well, we've got the game on our feed going on here. There's a variety of pieces that you can pick up on. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is line foul over on the third base side. We were having a chat about this the other night, and I was talking about when I was at the Tokyo Dome in August, and I was walking around, and there was a young fella that he was pitching the online portion that the Giants have to watch games. And I said, hey, that's great. Can I get it in North America? And he kind of laughs and he says, no. And I go, well, why not? I said, people are getting feeds somehow. Might as well. There's people that would be more than happy to pay for it. As that fastball swung on it, it's grounded up the middle. Fielded neatly by the shortstop, Kanami, moving to his left. He throws to first, and Tongu is retired on a ground out 6-3. 1 up and 1 away here, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Yutaro Sugimoto. So I just feel that there's a lost opportunity sometimes for the Nippon Professional League to spread its wings and to become more of a global name. Certainly, they've got the domestic market. There's a slow breaking ball delivered that is grounded over to the right side. Nakano goes deep into the 4-hole to get it. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Sugimoto. That last pitch had to float up to the plate somewhere at about 50 miles an hour. Sugimoto couldn't do any damage with it. Looked like we were playing beer league softball. Cued it off the end of the bat, and it almost had eyes to get through into right field. But a nice play by the second baseman as he ranged deep into the hole to his left to have to get it. So ground out 4-3, 2 in the books, and that's going to leave it up to Marwin Gonzalez. Well, for Gonzalez, batting from the right side, he takes a first pitch fastball for a ball, and the count is 1-0. As the lefty Otake delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down. That one's a little faster than the one that was tossed up to Sugimoto. 2 balls and no strikes. As the lefty delivers again, there's a fastball taken for a called strike just under the hands, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Friend Sean says, even domestically, I don't think they do well enough to spread the game. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is hitting into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track, looking up, and this one is gone. A home run for Marwin Gonzalez. And the Buffaloes have opened up the scoring here with a solo shot with 2 gone in the 4th inning. The Buffaloes are on the board. And so Gonzalez is the man to do it, as he is 2 for 2 tonight, breaking out of his slump in the playoffs and finding the right time to do it here. 1-0, the Buffaloes have the lead. I'm going to come back and touch on what Sean had to say there as well with regards to some of the piece is certainly when you're in Tokyo or in Osaka, people are not always walking around wearing attire. You have to really look for it, at least the Japanese attire. It's not a big thing that they are wearing their stuff, unless you go to the games. As the breaking ball misses down to Kotaro Kobayashi, the count is 1-0. You don't see people wearing hoodies or wearing ball hats or whatever it might be on a regular basis. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1 here as the lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. Victor says, is there the same hype in Japan for American players as there is in America for Japanese players? Yeah, the import players get their love. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's hit the deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Back onto the warning track and up against the wall, and it is off the wall. Digging around first and heading to second is Kobayashi, and he is going to cruise in to second base. So back-to-back loud hits here off of Otake, as Kobayashi is now at second base with 2 gone, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. That's the second swing tonight that Kobayashi has absolutely obliterated. Hit a ball to the deepest part of right field his first time up. That was brought in by Morishita. Noisy didn't necessarily judge that one very well. Good thing he had Koji Chikamoto in behind him to back up the play. Yeah, Sean says more people wear the MLB stuff, as we do have the pitching coach on the mound. The other thing I did notice, too, what I found rather funny, I saw it on 2 occasions. I saw it in Osaka when the Giants were playing the neutral site game against the Carp. I went to both of those games. But also when I went to the Swallows-Giants game and the Tigers-Giants game, there would be businessmen who would come to the game in their shirt and tie, show up at the game, put on their jersey, sit in the crowd with their jersey on, and then when the game would be done, take off the jersey, fold it up neatly, put it in their bag, and then go home. So I don't know why they wouldn't want to wear it on the streets of Tokyo. I mean, who would know the difference? And who would care? But I found that to be fascinating. It was kind of humorous that was the case. Just wear your jersey. And here comes the first pitch to Wakatsuki. It swung on and popped up over on the left side. And it's a little bit of trouble there, as it looked like Sato had lost it in the lights, but now he recovers and he's going to pull that one in. Wakatsuki is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that's going to do it here. There was 1 run in the inning, the solo shot by Marwin Gonzalez. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 4th. We have a 1-0 lead for the Buffaloes. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. It is great to have you with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. We lost our signal there for just a moment. We're glad you guys are with us. And we are in between innings here. So hang tight. We'll be right back in just a pull here after this. Or maybe we'll stay with you because it looks like we're coming back to this one here. Yeah, our signal went down. We are getting some weather here, so hopefully we don't have any interruptions tonight. The Game 3 game that we did the other night was absolutely a pain. We had lost our signal. We were up and down. We always keep a couple of feeds running, so if we lose one, we can get to the other, and sometimes they're not always in sequence. But that is the way it goes. It's going to be the heart of the order coming up for the Tigers. It's going to be Oyama, Noisy, and Sato. So sometimes that happens for us here. Sean says, yeah, it's one of the most wild things I've seen. He goes, I see them put their jersey on over their suit at games, and then they don't want to do it in public outside, which, yeah, it's different. I don't call it odd. It's odd behavior for a North American, but probably pretty normal for a Japanese fan. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Oyama. I mean, it's things I don't even think about, right? Like we would go to a game, and if you go to the game and you buy a jersey, or somebody has a jersey and you just wear it to the game, or you wear it over top on your way to work, fastball, take it for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. I think a hockey certainly in Canada, people will wear a jersey, and even the people in the suits will put them on in Vancouver or in Toronto or in different places. Fastball swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Oyama. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Sean says a whole different culture, and he loves living there. Absolutely. That fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. There is a lot to be said positively about the Japanese culture, just in terms of general behavior and how people are considerate to one another, and certainly in the public when you have that many people living on an island. Fastball misses down and in, and the count is now 3-2. The cleanliness, how people certainly the streets are clean, people are well behaved, all of those plus things. There's a fastball swung on. The bat is shattered, goes back toward the pitcher, Tajima. The ball ends up going to the third baseman, Mune, and that is going to retire Oyama on a ground out, 5-3. The bat splintered into about 1 million pieces. But that is going to retire Oyama for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. Banjo asked the question. He goes, I haven't watched much baseball before. The bats break this often. They can, depending on who the pitcher is. Certainly, if you get down on the fists, that's where you can saw people off. A lot of, depending also too on the pitchers, if they've got a lot of late life on their pitch, a lot of movement, guys end up getting tied up. That's where bats break. You don't see it as much at the end of the bat, but we have in the last couple of games here. And sometimes if you have wood, especially back years ago when they used to use a lot of ash bats, sometimes you could get a bad cord of wood. There could be knots in it, and the bats can break easier. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Noisy. Crimson Shadow says, are they expensive? Actually, even though I'm kind of been saying through the series, I think the Buffaloes are going to win this series. I'm not cheering for either one. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 1-1 on Noisy. I did buy a Hanshin Tiger jersey when I was at the Koshin Stadium in the month of September, and I picked up a Koji Chikamoto jersey of all things. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down, counts 2-1. And to give you some perspective on it, I'll put it in American dollars so you get an idea. It was about $50 US for a jersey, maybe 55 after, depending on the fluctuation of the exchange rates. And I have to say the jerseys that I've seen, because I took a look at, everybody's pretty happy. A lot of quality with that, as that fastball was swung on and lifted into center field. Moving over underneath it is Haruki. He makes the catch, and that's going to retire Noisy for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and that is going to leave it up to Teruki Sato. Sean says you can go to a secondhand shop and buy jerseys crazy cheap. Yeah, absolutely. And you think of the brand new ones. So, like for me to go and buy a jersey for 50, 55 bucks brand new, and it depends on the team. Some of the teams, it's a little bit more expensive. In fact, the Tigers, by my account, I thought their jerseys were, more reasonably priced than, say, for example, the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Carp was probably an extra 15 or 20 bucks. The Giants, I think, are the most expensive jerseys out there on the market. There's a breaking ball that misses down. And I think part of the reason why the Giants prices have taken off or spiked is because Fanatics has partnered with the Murray Giants to market their brand. And I think with Fanatics running it, it has pumped that price up a little bit. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. And our friend JL says, yeah, if you're tiny. Well, that is a problem because I'm an extra large myself. So depending on how tall you are, how big you are. I had a friend of mine who said, hey, can you get me a double XL? And when I was at the Cochin Stadium, they kind of laughed. Sorry, yeah, but they did have double XLs with the Murray Giants. The fastball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1-2. Our friend Albanian Man says he's bought a couple of game ones used on Buyee. I'll have to make a note of that. That sounds pretty good, that's for sure. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball that just misses outside, and it now goes to 2-2 on Sato. Check that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sato. Sato had a double his first time up. He was stranded at third. 5 for 28 in the series. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball waved out and missed. Sato goes down on strikes. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the 4th inning. Tajima is starting to settle in. He has the unconventional 7 in a row. He did allow a hit in the last inning, but it was a double play that erased it. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 4 complete. Your score is Buffaloes 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Appreciate you all for jumping in with us here tonight. It is the Last Round Space YouTube channel. And our friend Steve Rademacher will check in with us again and keep you entertained.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you guys for all listening in. It is supposed to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat here in the 5th inning. It'll be Daiki Tajima, it'll be Taishi Haruka, and Yuma Mune. The 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat in the batting order. As it is where we are here in the 5th inning. A 1-0 lead for the Buffaloes. Just a couple of news and notes as the first pitch delivered as a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. We are going to be starting the Japan Baseball Report podcast, and that's going to start a week from Sunday after the Japan series is over. As that breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. We'll do a weekly podcast. It'll be on our channel here, so don't forget to bookmark the channel. There's a fastball swung on, his chop back to the pitcher, and Tajima is going to be safe at first. Otake had to jump up into the air. He had a ball that went off the glove, and then he couldn't find it. And by the time he retrieved it, the pitcher was able to make his way down the first baseline, but he almost got himself gunned out. Not a very good piece of base running by Tajima as he slowed up before he got to the bag. He made that play a lot closer than what it should be. I don't know if they're going to rule that a hit or an error. As far as I'm concerned, it was a hit because Otake had to jump up in the air to try to field it. So we'll give Tajima a base hit on that one. They'll have to wipe the blood off the ball because it was a bit of a bleeder. That'll bring up the top of the order in Haruka. So Haruka takes the first pitch for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. And like Geek says, there is a YouTube stream from SMBC. It was the main sponsor. I don't think they do the game in English, so a lot of people may be syncing it up here. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So a lot of people, what they'll do is once they find the feed, they usually sync us up and enjoy our call along the way with the game that they can be watching. That's what we always try to encourage everybody to do. And come on in, sit in, and have a good time with us as well. Fastball misses up and in, and the count now goes to 1-2. Another reminder, at the end of the fifth inning, we like to call it our Japanese halftime. That's where we take a time out, and they come out to clean the field, and we'll have ourselves an extended break. Yeah, we will take that as well. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Coming over is Chikamoto. He's there to make the catch. That's going to retire Haruka for the first out of the inning. Albanian Man asks for the link. Well, we can't post the link in here. That gets us in trouble. So there's no links available to be stuck in. So the Analog Geek will have to either help you out or you're going to have to do some searching. My advice on that would be you might want to use the Japanese terms if you can get it translated into Japanese. That might be able to get you a quicker passage to where you need to go. So Mune here swings at the first pitch. It's a fastball lifted foul down the third base line, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike. But again, that's another situation where, depending upon what you're looking at or where you're looking at it, it is the feeds are not necessarily always available everywhere as well. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. Sometimes it'll say not available in your area. We've had that crop up a few times, which is disappointing because when I think about when the zone used to carry the NPB. As the pitch is on the way, there is a fastball that misses outside. Count now goes to 2-1 on Yuma Mune. Mune is 1 for 2 tonight. Single and 2 trips. As he waits here on the offering from the lefty Otake. As he works to the belt, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to first, but no, it's a foul ball. Here we go again. This is what the manager of the Tigers was pretty ticked off about in the first game of the series. The base umpire is making the call of fair or foul down the first baseline. But a lot of people may not know or understand that is the call of the home plate umpire up to the base. Once it gets beyond the base, that becomes the call of the base umpire. And so it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. That ball there, it looked like it certainly wasn't the home plate umpire made the call. That was the first base umpire emphatically making that call. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 3-2. Now, That being said, with a 6-man crew with the right and left field umpires, if that particularly changes, I don't believe it does. Everything up to the bag is the home plate umpire's responsibility. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball waved on and missed. Oh, Mune swung at ball 4. He's going to go into the books for the second out of the inning, and it's going to leave it all up to Tomoya Mori. Yeah, the Analog Geek also says the other part there is you might have to use a VPN to put yourself in Japan. That is for sure. So 2 gone, the runner at first. And that is generally the case. We have on our members page, we've updated our list for those of you folks that are members. As there's a fastball swung on. This is lined over to the shortstop. It is cut by Konami, and that is going to retire Mori for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit by the pitcher, Tajima. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. So your score as we move to the last half of the 5th inning, it is a 1-0 lead for the Buffaloes. We'll be back in just a few minutes after this. Give you all the action when we return and a couple more thoughts on the stuff that is on our members-only page. We'll be right back in just a few. We have a scoreline of 1-0 for the Buffaloes. It is a solo shot by Marwin Gonzalez. It is the difference in this one. We'll be back in just a few after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Matt Hollis. We are moving to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it is going to be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat here for the Tigers. It'll be Sakamoto, Kanami, and Otake to come to hit. At least we'll keep an eye if the pitcher does come as well. So this is the last half of the 5th inning. As we said, we will be ultimately, we're going to be making the extended break here after the 5th. Giving ourselves a timeout, refreshing our tea. But for now, it'll be Sakamoto coming to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center field his first time up. 4 for 24 in the playoffs for the Tigers catcher. He is definitely not there for his offense as much as he is here for his defense. As we were talking about before, we will be putting out our podcast once a week and then maybe more as we move along. And it'll be a week from Sunday. We'll put together a schedule, and you can find it on YouTube Music We are yet to get an RSS feed and pop it out to other places like Spotify and other locations. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. We will do a recap of the Japan series, as well as we'll start looking at the teams every week over the off season and what their needs and the news and notes are on those teams. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike. We'll also look at some hot stove pieces as well and speculate and follow the Japanese players who may make the jump to Major League Baseball next year. So 1-1 strike as Sakamoto waits here on the lefty Tajima. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded deep into the 6-hole, and it gets underneath the glove of Kirbayashi in the left field. That's going to be a base hit. Sakamoto aboard with a leadoff single. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. And for Kanami, he officially does not have it at bat tonight. He was intentionally walked his first time up. So we're going to see how they play it out. This is where the strategy comes in. Normally, in a normal situation like this, you would expect to see a bunt, moving the base runner into scoring position, but you got the pitcher who's on deck. Now, the question will be are they going to let the pitcher hit, or would they pinch hit for him in this situation? It's 5 innings deep. It's not like Otake needs to come out of the game. They are squaring to bunt, so we're going to see how this plays out. Kanami squares. Fastball misses upstairs, and it's 1-0 to Kanami. Tigers down by a run here. They do have Ryo Watanabe on deck, the former fighter. So that ought to give you the answer right here. Our friend, the Analog Geek, says they are going to sacrifice him for sure. There's a ball that's bunted back to the pitcher. It is fielded by Chijima. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Kanami. That's going to go as a sacrifice. 1-4 on the putout. It advances Sakamoto over to second. The manager, Okada, has come out as he is going to announce that it'll be Ryo Watanabe hitting for the pitcher here. So that will be the change. Our friend, the Analog Geek, asks if we know about the curse of the Colonel, Colonel Sanders. I understand. I don't know if they've done it now, but in the Osaka area, they have taken the statues of Colonel Sanders and brought them inside or brought them off of the streets, as they are afraid that the revelers or rebellers would endanger them. But I really don't know all the effects of it right across the board. So Watanabe here, ready to face the lefty for the first time as he's waggling the bat. As Tajima here holds to the set position. And here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded by Gonzalez. He throws to first. That's going to retire Watanabe on a ground out 4-3. It's going to advance Sakamoto over to third. And it's going to bring up the top of the order in Koji Chikamoto. So that'll be a quality at bat for Watanabe, but not quite what he wanted. If he could have punched it through the 4-hole, they would have probably scored a run in that spot. So Chikamoto coming to bat. He is 1 for 2 tonight, 9 for 28 in the series. The Analog Greek says the story is that they won the series in 85. They threw the Colonel Sanders statue into the river to represent Randy Bass as a lookalike. There you go. Well, I don't know. I don't think Sheldon Noisy looks like the Colonel. But you never know what people interpret. So maybe if Noisy does some damage, maybe they'll throw it in there. Here's the pitch. Fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Chikamoto. Analog Geek says they went on to being bad for quite a long time and have realized that maybe they've cursed themselves by making Colonel Sanders mad. Well, I'll tell you, sometimes I've been in Colonel Sanders here and I've been mad because the chicken that they give you is Kentucky Fried Sparrow. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. Certainly not the big portions that I was used to as a kid. Highlight of Kentucky Fried Chicken in these parts is they have Kentucky Fried Chicken flavored potato chips. Those are hard to put down, as it's got the original seasoning and it's partnered up with Ruffles, so you got to love that. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as the lefty Tajima works himself to the belt. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Chikamoto. The Analog Geek says they found the original statue after decades and made huge apologies to the statue to try to remove the curse. Yes, there you go. And Analog Geek says, hilariously, the live feed in Japan has a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial on it. There you go. Probably a big sponsor as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Chikamoto. Delivers a fastball that swung on and missed, and Chikamoto goes in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Tigers in their half of the fifth. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 5 complete. It is the Buffaloes 1 and the Tigers no score. We're going to take our break right now as we move to the top of the 6th inning. We like to call it the Japanese halftime, and that is what we're going to be enjoying right now. We're going to be back in a couple minutes. We're going to put our music on loop and our cheering on loop as well, and we'll be back when we return after this. We're going to be going to the top of the 6th inning here in just a couple moments. We are in what we call our Japanese halftime. They are clearing the field, and we'll be ready to resume the action in just a few. There will be a pitching change for the Tigers as Otake's day will be finished. We'll be right back in just a few with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is Junya Nishi who is on in relief, and we are already a little bit behind here as it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yuma Tongu. Tongu, Sugimoto, and Gonzalez to get things going here in the 6th inning for the Buffaloes as Nishi works himself to the set position. And here comes the 1-2 pitch as he kicks and delivers a fastball swung on. It is taken on 1 hop by the shortstop, Kanami. He gets up and he fires to first. Oh, what a sensational play that was by the shortstop. That ball was absolutely blistered by Tongu. He takes it on 1 hop on the backhand side, gets up off his knees, and fires across the diamond to retire the first baseman of the Buffaloes. So 1 gone here, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Yataro Sugimoto. Well, for Sugimoto, he is 0 for 2 tonight in this one. He has struck out and grounded to second. 1-0 here for the Buffaloes. That was a great grab in the 6 hole. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is quickly 0-1. Sean Crosby says, Kentucky Fried Chicken is huge here. We eat it at Christmas for some reason, along with cake. The Kentucky Fried Chicken lines at Christmas time are absolutely massive. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Coming in hard is Noisy. He's going to make the catch. Looked like that bat may have been broken by Sugimoto. He must have. He's going to have to get himself a new piece of lumber the next at bat, but that is going to be retire him for the second out of the inning. I understand that the Chinese eat chicken or Kentucky Fried Chicken at Christmas time. That is one of their shticks. As they are quite regular into that, and as they don't celebrate, I don't understand why they do it as well, but that is certainly also, we see that here. So Marwin Gonzalez steps up to the plate. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and a home run. He has the only run in the ball game. He's batting from the left side from the first time. And he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Gonzalez is now 6 for 26 in the playoffs with the homer and 5 RBIs. Gonzalez batting here, waiting on the offering from Junya Nishi, who fires a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. That last pitch poured in at 94 miles an hour. So a little bit different than the starter, Otake, who was barely breaking a pane of glass that we rarely ever saw him over 90. He would touch it from time to time, but he sat in the upper 80s for the most part tonight. When he wasn't throwing his 58-mile-an-hour ephus pitches, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now remains at 0-2 to Gonzalez. Junya Nishi and Yuki Nishi are related. They are distant cousins, and they really never knew one another until they joined the ball club, or at least till Junya joined the ball club. Or Junya was there. Yuki actually had come over from the Oryx Buffaloes cross town. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that's down, and it's away from the catcher Sakamoto all the way to the backstop, and the count is 1-2 to Gonzalez. On the season, Junya Nishi was 5-2. He had worked 72 in the third innings. Most of them were starts. He allowed 79 hits, 28 walks, and struck out 45, and he had an ERA of 3.86. He's only 22 years old, is Junya Nishi, so one would expect there's going to be a lot of baseball ahead of for him in a Tigers uniform. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. 2 gone here in the 6th inning. It is a 1-0 lead for the Buffaloes. The 1-run courtesy of Marwin Gonzalez. There's a fastball swung on his chop softly back to the pitcher. Nishi fields it. He throws to first, and it's low, and it's dropped. I think that's going to be an error on the first baseman, because I don't think it bounced into the dirt. It is definitely an error, but we're going to have to see if it's an error on the pitcher or an error on the first baseman, and I think it's Oyama, because the ball, even though it was down, wasn't in the dirt. We'll see that one again. Oyama needs to make that play. That needs to be automatic. We're going to put it down as an E3. First baseman, they got to be able to pick. Yeah, we know Nishi, it wasn't a great play. So Gonzalez is aboard here with 2 gone, and that's going to bring up Kotaro Kobayashi. Well, Kobayashi tonight is 1 for 2. He had a double off the left center field wall his last time up, and he hit a ball right to the right field wall for a flyout his first time up. So he's been right on song with the pitcher Otake, but now we have a new arm on the hill, and he takes a first pitch fastball low and away for a ball. The count is 1-0. Kobayashi 8 for 29 in the playoffs. Banjo says the first baseman looked stunned that he didn't catch it. Yeah, well, it's time to get a hand transplant. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Hit him at a bad spot, right in the meat hooks. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Crimson Shadow, I missed what he had set up there. Maybe they ought to give him a Tigers jersey. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2. Yeah, each team has now traded a error. The first error of the ball game, of course, was charged to the Buffalo's pitcher Tajima, and that allowed an Nakano to reach base. And that was a really interesting situation because it put the first 2 runners aboard in the first. The Tigers are probably going to lament not being able to cash a run in there. So 1-2 here to Kobayashi as the right-hander holds set. Now he kicks and delivers a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We were talking earlier in the game about the marketing of the NPB across Japan and other places. It's too bad they can't make it a much more of a global game. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Kobayashi. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the righty delivers, there's a fastball swung on it, is chopped back to the pitcher. Nishi throws a bullet to first base, but it's a foul ball off the foot of Kobayashi, and it's going to keep the count at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kirby-Ashi. The runner at first, Gonzalez. 2 gone here in the 6th inning. Just trying to catch up a little bit on some other pieces here. We'll take a timeout on the in-between. As the right-hander leans in, gets the sign from his catcher. He checks the runner at first. Gonzalez on the move. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Gonzalez rounds second. He makes his way to third. Morishita fires it back in, and now they got runners in the corners. So as our friend Analog Geek says, that error was a error that could have come back to hurt you. That's a tough error for sure. And now here we got runners on the corners with 2 gone, and we got Kenya Wakatsuki coming to the plate. Sean says he wants to blame the Central League. They've always been stingy and traditional. Yeah, I have to say that you're probably not wrong on that one. You think of the Pacific League, they have their own television setup. They've got their own online. You can stream the games there as well. PacificLeague.com. You've got almost a global or what I call a league-wide almost agreement, whereas the Central League, it's all for one and one for all. Kind of feel bad for the Nagoya or the Chinichi Dragons based in Nagoya there. They're kind of the weak sister in that league, not just because of their record, but in terms of glamour. Probably when you think of the Carp and you think of the Tigers and you think of the Giants and the Swallows, even the Bay Stars probably have a bigger and better following and even a bigger payroll. Chinichi over there, they're set adrift on your own on an island. Well, with runners on the corners, Wakatsuki at the plate here. It's the pitcher's spot, Tajima on deck. Kind of curious to see if they would have maybe put on the hitter here intentionally. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. Our friend, the Analog Geek, says that you have to give Tom Selleck for that movie, for the Mr. Baseball movie. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to check out some Tom Selleck stuff, Tom Selleck actually played in live games in a spring training one year for the Detroit Tigers. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 2-0. On YouTube, it has his at bat against the Cincinnati Reds. He actually fouled a couple pitches off in the live game, but when you watch Selleck, you can look at him and he kind of reminds me of somebody who's in their early 40s that had bad knees and that their career was coming to an end. And they were just hanging on for one more spring training. That's how he looked in his at-bats. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that swung on and missed, and now it goes to 2-1 on Wakatsuki. I think it was 61. I think it was the Roger Maris movie that was produced by Billy Crystal. One of the fellows I used to work with or used to coach with was entrusted to train the actor in that movie on how to hit. Try to make him look like a hitter, and not just a hitter, but try to make him look at least like Lou Gehrig. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away right at home plate. The count goes to 2-2. My friend JL says he's listening from Australia. It's 10 p.m. Thanks for being here, JL. We appreciate you for jumping on the stream tonight. And don't forget, for those who are new here, don't forget to bookmark the channel. We'll be back on again on Saturday for Game 6 of the series. Hopefully you can make it in here with us as well. Our friend down in Australia, make sure your Foster's is cold and on ice for the weekend. Analog Geek says 8 p.m. in Tokyo. Yes, it is. And where we're at, it's 4:04 in the morning on the West Coast. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Wakatsuki goes in the books. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was an error, and there were 2 runners left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 1 and the Dragons no score. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We will be right back in just a few, as it is our friend Steve Rademacher once again, and he's showing you what he's got in his fridge.
Steve here from outside his refrigerator that a lot of you like so much. So let's go inside. There's my hot sauces and other stuff. Let's see what we can do here for Freddie. Awesome game, Freddie. Keep up the good work. We love the baseball. So why don't we rip open Garbage Pail Kids just for you and the listeners. Large Marge, she belongs in the fridge. Liberty Libby, well, she belongs down here on the beer. Apple Corey, hey, he's pretty cool. Put him on that beer up here. And Target Margaret. All Series 3 Chrome Garbage Pail Kids. Freddie, back to you in the game, and everybody else, please enjoy everything he does and tip him nicely.
Welcome back, everybody. Sparkus is in the house here. He says another Aussie, and being that Japan is close to the time zone, it makes it keeping up a lot easier. That is for certain. Our friend Analog Geek says he would choose a Carlton or a Murphy's or something like that. In Japan, it is Asahi, Sapporo, Orion, Karen. Yeah, I went to the Asahi Brewery, not this time, but the last time in the other side is in Samita. You get up on the 20-some-odd floor, 26th floor, you get a pretty good view of the city. Now, I like their Super Dry. That is one of the pieces. I don't drink much, but when I was over there and I had a beer, it was a great view and one of the best beers you could get. Well, it's going to be Nakano, Morishita, and Oyama here to face Tajima in the 6th inning. Tajima has only thrown 62 pitches through 5, so he's been very economical. And the lefty delivers a left-handed hook to the left-handed hitting Nakano for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The lefty ready to go again. Nathan P. says 4 a.m., and he's ready to have a Sapporo right now. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Nakano. Nakano is 1 for 2 tonight. He's reached base both times. Reached on an error in the first and singled in the third. He's now 7 for 29 in the playoffs for the Tigers. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Tajima ready to go again as he gets his sign from the catcher Wakatsuki. Fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. We're getting into the deep water in this one here as it's getting close to the latter third of the ball game, and the Tigers are going to have to find a way to cash a run. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down. A good stop there by the catcher, but all for naught as it runs the count to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can't take a chance there, Wakatsuki. He has to block it. The batter would have went chasing after it. Would have been a difficult play to have made. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Kind of waiting here on the pitch from Tajima, who delivers a fastball that is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is Sugimoto. He's there, and he makes the catch. That is going to retire Nakano for the first out of the inning. One gone, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita, he's bounced into a fielder's choice, and he's grounded into a double play tonight, 0 for 2. 6 for 29 in the playoffs for the right fielder of the Hanshin Tigers. As he waits here on the offering from the lefty, 4 for 19 in the Nippon series. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into the right side of the infield, but drifting back in slowly into right field is Gonzalez, and he's going to make the catch as he backpedals. So shallow right field. As that ball carried a little bit, he has gone for the second out. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Yusuke Oyama. A friend, the Analog Geek, says, I can't believe this series started off with back-to-back 8-0 wins. Yeah, first time in history that 8-0 wins for each team were traded. A friend JL says he saw a game at the Tokyo Dome and he saw the national team against the Fighters last year. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As I mentioned, I got to 6 stadiums, which was pretty cool. I actually saw more Central League games than Pacific League games just because of the geography where I was at. Pacific League, they sprawl a little bit more. Of course, you've got the 2 teams in the Tokyo area, the Marines and the Lions. And then, of course, you have the 2 in the Northeast, as well as the Buffaloes. Saw the Buffaloes play, but I saw them play in Kobe at the Hotomoto. As that fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Oyama. Our friend, the Analog Geek, said, what was your favorite stadium? So, first of all, I'll give you the 6 stadiums that I went to. I went to the stadium in Yokohama, where the Bay Stars play. That was a nice stadium. I enjoyed that stadium. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And there is a fastball swung on and tapped foul behind home plate. The count goes to 2-2. Tokyo Dome was just another dome. In fact, in a lot of ways, disappointed. I saw 3 games at the Tokyo Dome. I saw the Swallows twice and the Tigers once play the Giants. And really it was a dome that has been there for a number of years, obviously, and is something that looked like it was built in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and it's something that should probably be considered to be torn down and rebuilt. I think they're thinking about tearing down the Jinju Stadium where the Swallows play. I think they're tearing down the wrong piece. They should be looking at getting rid of the Tokyo Dome, not the Jinju. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And it is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Racing over to his left and making the catch is the right fielder, Tomoya Mori. He's going to haul that one in, and that's going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the 6th inning. I'll come back and talk stadiums in just a few. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 6 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here, listening on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Your score, 1-0 Buffaloes as we move to the top of the 7th inning. 1-0 as we are entering the top of the 7th inning. We'll be back in 30 with all the action. Hang tight, everybody. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Daiki Tajima to come to the bat here. The pitcher hitting in the pitching spot. Tajima, Haruka, and Mune. Thought Tajima would be good tonight. Didn't think he would be as good as he has been. As he's going to be facing Junya Nishi here for, who begins his 2nd inning of work. Sorry, guys. Couldn't hit the hot button there quick enough. Fastball taken for a called strike. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, we had a hiccup, and literally a hiccup here. So, fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to fastball misses outside. Count goes to 1-1. So, started off with the game in Yokohama, saw the Bay Stars and the Carp, and saw 3 at the Tokyo Dome. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Tajima. The third stadium I got to was I saw the Lions play the Fighters. And as much as I like the stadium, it is an open air dome and it is hot and humid. So there's no air conditioning in that dome. Fastball misses up and in, and the count now goes to 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike to Tajima. But the facility around it is great. The training facility that the Lions have, the second team, I got a chance to see them play a little bit. At their facility up top, there's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 3-2. I would almost like to see them change the turf in that dome to almost a field turf rather than like the old style AstroTurf that looks like is still on the ground. There's a fastball misses upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4. So the pitcher, Tajima, draws himself a walk. He's going to be aboard. It drives you crazy when pitchers can't get pitchers out. This is the 2nd time today he has reached base. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Taishi Haruka. Well, Haruka is 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded to short. He has flown to left and flown to center. Fred, the Analog Geek, says bunting with nobody on, or at least trying to sacrifice with nobody on. Always get a kick out of that. Why are you sacrificing into the first out of the inning when there's nobody on? Our friend CV in the house, welcome to you tonight. A little early in the morning as CV is up and early in California. Our friend the Analog Geek says Lions also play games in Omiya, old outdoor stadium. He said would love to see them renovate that and play their games there. It's gorgeous, yeah. If I remember correctly, and I've taken some photos, I'll have to go back and take a look, but I think that dome that they put on the stadium in Saitama is an addition. It never used to be a dome stadium. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-1 on Haruka. So in other words, it is a dome, but it was an addition that they put onto an existing stadium, which in some ways would be an engineering marvel to have done something like that. Certainly at that time. And it's kind of unique. I kind of like the uniqueness of it, especially the concourse. When you come in on the outfield side, and then you have to walk upward. There's an incline on both sides on the first and the third base side. Ball's popped up. It's in foul territory. Moving over into the third base coach's box and making the catch is Sato. And Haruka is going to be retired for out number 1 here in the 7th inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. So, yeah, I find that to be fascinating as well. You get an opportunity to get to games and see games. So the neutral site games that I saw, of course, I saw the other 3 games, or the back 3 games that I went to, as the pitching coach has made his way out to the mound to talk to Junya Nushi. The 3 games that I saw the neutral site games would have been the Carp and the Giants were playing at the Kyocera Dome. So I went to the Kyocera Dome. The Kyocera Dome actually reminded me of the Astrodome. And that's how that was. Well, I don't know if that's going to be the end of the night for Nishi, as we are going to have ourselves a little break here, but it looks like we may have ourselves a pitching change, as we are going to the bullpen. It looks here to bring on a lefty, more than likely to face Mooney and Mori. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. Appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll be right back here in just a few. Pitching change here as the night for Nishi is over.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rodmacher coming back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool to go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change, as it is going to be number 46, Hiroya Shimamoto, as he is on here in relief to face the left-handed hitting Yuma Mune. And the first offering to Mune is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Mune tonight, 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also struck out and grounded out. Batting from the left side here against Shimamoto, the third pitcher used tonight by the Hanshin Tigers. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Coming hard is Chikamoto. He makes the catch, and they throw into second base for a fielder's choice. That was a great play by Chikamoto. Chikamoto came racing in. He put his glove up as if he was going to make the catch. The base runner, being the pitcher, Tajima, was hung up between first and second. He didn't know what it was going to be. And then, of course, the ball bounced in front of Chikamoto. He picked up and fired a bullet into second base. And Tajima is retired. That's going to go as a fielder's choice. Yeah, fielder's choice. And it's going to be 8-4 on the putout. Tajima gone for out number 2, and that'll leave it up to the right fielder, Tomoya Mori. Sakamoto has gone out to talk to his pitcher, Shimamoto, as they're going to discuss what they're going to do here with Mori. Of course, Mori is a dangerous hitter, and I would not put it past him that he is out there swinging at the first pitch. Very aggressive hitter in the box. Mori on the playoffs Well, he's 0 for 3 tonight. He is 10 for 34 in the playoffs for the Buffaloes as the left-hander works himself to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down. A good stop there by the catcher Sakamoto. So 1 ball and no strikes to Mori. Probably a good decision there. Sean says Saitama is underrated, especially with all the hate it seems to get. Yeah, the other part to that, Sean, is that people, they were saying they have a hard time keeping their stars. I mean, you look at Mori, he wanted out. You look at Kona Takahashi, well, he's not going to get posted. So he's not exactly the happiest guy. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Nakano loses his footing. The ball's going to get into right field. And then the right fielder, Morishita, overruns the ball. Here comes Mune to the plate. The throw comes home, and it's not going to be in time. Oh, we have a calamity of errors. And that is going to put the scoreline to 2-0. At the bare minimum, it should be Mune at second base. And now he's at third. And the next thing you know, he comes all the way around to score. I'd like to see how the scorers are going to rule that one. Mori hits the ground ball. Nakano does a good job to get over into the 4-hole to have to try to field the ball. And then as he goes down to have to field it, it goes off the heel of his glove right through the wickets. And then Morishita comes in to pick it up barehanded. And he ends up overrunning the ball, and Mune comes all the way home to score. That's unbelievable. And it's inexcusable at this level to make that kind of mistake. And you can see the manager from the Tigers, he's ticked off. So it's going to go in the books as an E4. Mori is going to be safe at first. And that's going to be the end of the night. So in fairness, Shimamoto did his job. But the defense behind him couldn't take care of business. It's going to bring Yumatago to the plate. We're going to have another pitching change on our hands. We're going to be back here in just a couple of moments. So it is now a 2-0 lead. So yeah, absolutely. E4 and E9 on both of those is going to allow that there. So 2 errors on the one play. And I'm going to talk a little technical stuff with it there. What we teach young kids to do is that ball stopped rolling. When the ball is stopped, we teach our players, we teach our outfielders, we teach it at young ages where you get your feet around the ball first and you take both the glove and the hand to the ground as you sit into your legs, where if you just bend at the waist, you're going to bobble the ball. Well, that's a fundamental skill there that Shota Morishita just butchered. And that is going to allow the second run to score. Well, we'll be back in just a moment, everybody. We appreciate you guys listening in. That was definitely, if you're a Tiger fan, you got to be sick to your stomach right now. And our friend, God is great, is listening here. He's probably hit the bottle pretty hard. We'll be right back in just a moment. You have a pitching change on our hands.
Thank you, Freddie. And hey, guys, let's open up a 5-card pack of 2023 Topps Baseball. And remember, during this timeout, you can also go visit some other channels. Oh, look, Jeter Downs. Bleh. Diamond Princess, she's great. Oh, there's a cubby. Screw that. Hey, go check out the one and only Bud Stoney. Oh, here's one for another Hollis build. And you can stay anywhere you want to when you're around Freddie and the Seattle area. That's good for Mr. Infuego. And you know what? Why don't we bring out one of the Oakland A's for a league of her own? Bingo! Thank you, Freddie. Pitchers look like they're ready. Let's play ball.
Appreciate you there. It is going to be the right-hander Daichi Ishii who is coming into the ball game, and that is going to be his. We've seen him a couple of times already in this series. So he is on in replace of Junya Nishi. So Ishii in for Nishi. As the right-hander kicks and delivers the first pitch to Tongu. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Yuma Tongu. Our friend the Analog Geek says the infield dirt really makes difficult for the infielders. Actually, the turf plays faster than the dirt does. If you are ever on turf or you ever played on turf, the difference is the turf will run true. You get true bounces unless it hits a seam. Whereas on the dirt's a little bit slower, but because it is dirt, balls can be going in all kinds of different directions. So, we'd have to take a look at that one there if that ended up eating up the shortstop. But that's now the third error made by the Tigers here tonight. Breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Tongu. Our friend William Scott in the house, he says, Ishii came in on the cart. Don't see that in U.S. anymore. Yeah, well, the Chibalote Marines, they bring their guys in Mercedes. They have a Mercedes ragtop convertible that they bring the players in on. And when Roberto Osuna was pitching there a couple of years ago, he refused. He would run in. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now. I've got 2-1 to Tongu. Unless I have mismarked it and I've gotten ahead of myself at some point here. 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Our friend, the Analog Geek, says, don't they keep it wet and firm in Japan? Yeah, they water it down on the in-between for sure, but that even slows it down a little bit more. Here's the pitch. Fastball that is swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. The count is 2-2. The firm part certainly depends on the parts that you play at. I mean, I can't comment on so much on the Japanese field of play, but I know, for example, minor league stadiums, especially here in the Pac Northwest, you'll get a lot of clay that is put down and then they put the dirt on top. So the surfaces can play a little bit harder and a little bit faster. So I'd be curious to know what they would actually put underneath the surface. And sometimes the clay will be put down not on the infield, but as in so much as around the pitcher's mounds and the home plate area. But I don't know if there's anything special done around those areas in this particular ballpark. Here's the 2-2 pitch. As Ishii delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down and away. They appeal to the first base umpire. Did Tongu go? Doesn't look like it. That's going to run the count to 3-2. Yeah, Sean says the car is the sponsor or something along those lines. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Tongu. Runner at first is Mori. He'll be on the move when the pitch comes to the plate. As the right-hander Ishii works to the set again. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. Tongu's going to get himself a walk. Mori advances over to second. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Yataro Sugimoto, with a chance to blow this thing up here a bit. Our friend, the Analog Geek, says when he grew up in Oregon, we played on full grass infields and made it hard to play as you couldn't tell if the ball would just stop or make some ugly bounce. Yeah, that's what I found out here in the West Coast is that there's a lot of ball played with the grass infields. As Tongu's night looks like it's going to be over, they're going to have a pinch runner come in for him. Back east where I grew up, we played on the all dirt infields, but the dirt infields were more like the crushed rock. So Rio Adachi is going to be the pinch runner here for Tongu, and one would expect he'll go into second base, and it would move Marwin Gonzalez probably over to first. We'll wait for those changes defensively when they happen. It going to be Kai Nakagawa who is at the plate. He's going to pinch hit here for Sugimoto. So Nakagawa in the ball game. Here is the pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count is 1-0 to Nakagawa. Yeah, every place that you go, everywhere, they always have a little bit different nuances depending upon, of course, the type of weather conditions that you have. Certainly a lot of rain in the Pacific Northwest in the springtime makes it tough to play. So you need your fields to be able to drain and drain well. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. And this ball is going to be hauled in by Morishita. They were playing shallow because they had to throw the runner out the plate. Morishita got on his horse, and he was able to bring that one in. And that is going to do it here for the third out of the inning. Well, Nakagawa sent it for a ride, just not deep enough. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of no hits. There were 2 errors, and there was 1 run, or check that, 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning, it is the Buffaloes 2 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight. Here is our friend Matt.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
We're moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being with us. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is going to be Sheldon Noisy, Teruaki Sato, and Seishiro Sakamoto to come to bat here, as it is the lefty Tajima who has been excellent tonight, both on the mound and at the plate. As we had mentioned, he has reached a couple of times on a walk and on a single, of all things. So that is where we stand here. We are ready to go back at it again. Noisy batting from the right side here against the left-hander Tajima, who holds himself and he's ready to go. The pitch is delivered, a breaking ball missing down and away. The count is 1-0 to Noisy. 2-7-1 for the Buffaloes, 0-4-3 for the Tigers. And as we speculated, it is Adachi at second and Gonzalez at first, with Yumatagu leaving the game. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. Thinking ahead, I'm not sure who the Tigers are going to roll out in the next start, but I would think Game 6 is going to be Yamamoto, and Game 7 is probably more than likely going to be the lefty Miyagi, at least in my eyes. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. Fielding it with some difficulty was Kirby-Ashi, but he's going to throw to first, and that's going to retire Noisy on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for 1 out, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Teruaki Sato. Well, for Sato tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a double in 2 trips. He's also struck out. The announced attendance for this one, 41,031. A sellout at the Koshin Stadium. Not a single seat to be had. Our friend Crimson Shadow said he wished the NPB was more mainstream, that he could watch and listen to the Tigers if they weren't so stingy. Fastball misses down and the count is 1-0. Noisy was, yes, a 4A player. That's what I like to call him too. Too good for AAA, not good enough for the big leagues. There's a huge laundry list of those players over the years. Had a decent year with the Tigers. I would have liked to seen him hit a little bit better than the 240-ish. Fastball swung on, grounded over on the first baseline. Diving play by Gonzalez. He gets up and he's going to win the race to first base. Oh, what a play by Gonzalez. I think if Tongu's over there, I don't think he makes that play, but Gonzalez with an excellent first step, some very athletic moves, and he's able to retire Sato for the second out of the inning. If you're on Instagram, be sure to check that out as a highlight. That was absolutely fantastic. So 2 gone here, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. Well, for Sakamoto, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. Tigers are starting to run out of outs. I've never seen a team win a game that hasn't scored a run. That is what we're looking at here. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I was talking earlier about the stadiums, and the question came up, which was the favorite, and I was running through them. As the pitch is a fastball down, and it gets away from the catcher, and that's going to run the count to 1-1. So the Kyocera Dome was probably also, with the Tokyo Dome, is not a favorite spot to see a game. Well, it's decent to see a game. It's just not, doesn't have an ambiance or an environment. It's like you're sitting in a meat cooler watching a game. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 1-2. I also got to the Mazda Stadium in Hiroshima. Now, that's a beautiful stadium. That is a fantastic building. If you get a chance to get to Hiroshima, definitely go see the kart play. Beautiful view of the mountains. You can see the Shinkansen rolling by in left center field during the game. Absolutely fantastic place to watch a ball game. Fastball swung on, lined right to the third baseman, Mune. And that is going to do it, as Sakamoto has been retired for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score is 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Sean says Gonzalez is another 4A type player. No, I think Gonzalez is better than that. He had carved out a pretty lengthy big league career as a utility player. Much better than that. 4A player is a guy who's a yo-yo who goes up and down between the bigs and AAA and can't quite stick in the big leagues long enough to have more than 2 cups of coffee. We'll be back here in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us. Hang tight. We'll see you in just a bit.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 8th inning. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat. It'll be Marwin Gonzalez, Kotaro Kobayashi, and Kenya Wakatsuki. as they are going to be ready here to go. Getting a confirmation of a pitcher. It looks like it's going to be Yuasa on the mound for the Tigers. So he will be coming in. I believe he threw only one pitch the other night to get the hold, if I'm not mistaken. So Yuasa is in. This is Atsuki Yuasa. And he is going to be the fifth pitcher used tonight by the Tigers. So the big right-hander here ready to take over. All I kept thinking about is I wonder how Shintaro Fujinami would have helped the Tigers this year, their cause in this, where he would have fit in. As the first pitch is delivered to Gonzalez, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is no balls and one strike. Gonzalez has reached base all three times tonight. He has a single, a home run, and he reached on the error by the first baseman, Oyama, who fry-panned a ball back in the sixth inning. So no balls and one strike as the righty Yuasa ready to go again. And here comes the pitch. Fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Analog Geek says he was in Corvallis. Corvallis, is that Corbin College in Corvallis? Or I can't remember now. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. Sean says he lived in the Bay Area as well. Last winter was the wettest winter he'd ever seen in his life. Nathan says, after not having rain for so long, it was good to get a wet winter. There's a fastball swung on, it's grounded over to second, fielded neatly by Nakano. And he throws Gonzalez out at first. That's a ground out 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away here in the 8th for the Buffaloes. Oh, yeah, or Corvallis is Oregon State University. That's correct. I have to try to keep some of that stuff straight. I don't get down to Oregon too often. I've only been down a few times. Been to Portland. I do like Portland. I don't know what it's like after the pandemic, though. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Got to the, what do they call it, the Rose Center, or to see some basketball. Saw the Trailblazers play the Rockets one time. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Kirby-Ashi. Kirby-Ashi is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a single, a double, and he's flown out to right field. 9 for 30 now in the playoffs, batting an even 300. Yeah, Corbin's in Salem, Oregon, that's for sure. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. We used to play against Concordia as well. Concordia was in Portland, and they actually closed the university. Concordia was an NAIA program, went to an NCAA Division II program, and they closed the university. I'd never heard of that. Figure university or institutions would stay on forever. There's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Kirby-Ashi down on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that will bring up the catcher Kenya Wakatsuki. A friend Analog Geek says, just imagine a small Vancouver with maybe more homeless. Actually, we got our fair share of that. More than our fair share, certainly with the fentanyl crisis that is harboring the east side of the city. Lots of people on the streets in the downtown east side. First pitch, fastball misses down to Wakatsuki. The count is 1-0. That's a whole other topic we could have a whole other stream on. It's unfortunate. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. Analog Geek says, yeah, Concordia is a chain of universities. There was a Concordia in Ann Arbor, Michigan as well. They were also an NAIA school, and there's other Concordias that are around and about. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 2-1 now to Wakatsuki. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind the first base dugout, and the count now goes to 2-2. Texas Rangers, of course, won the World Series last night. What a wasted effort by Zach Gallen, the pitcher for the Diamondbacks. No hitter through 6, and they couldn't hang on. Shutout 5-0 in that one. There was a fastball swung on and missed. Wakatsuki's in the books. 2 strikeouts here for Yuasa. He gets the side 1-2-3 in the 8th. That might give the Tigers some momentum, but we'll have to wait and see. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat when we return after this. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this little message. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat. Our friend Sean Crosby says seeing all these cheerleaders for Japanese teams is pretty funny. Well, we got to get a kick out of it, too. As we said last night, a couple of times, we said this is would you like to see a amateur stream done professionally, or would you like to see a professional stream done amateurishly? And we hope we're in the first category, as it's an amateur stream. We're trying to do it professionally or having fun doing it. I can't say we're great at it, but we like to have some fun with that as well. So we appreciate you guys for jumping in, and also to the support that we get from Steve Rademacher and Matt Hollis. And we have some others from time to time who have done stuff for us. Hopefully that keeps you entertained as well on the in-between. We have a lot of fun in doing it. And of course, everybody gets a chance to chime in with it. And so get a chance to check out their channels when you get a chance, as they have some pretty good humor and they do support us. We do have a pitching change, as it is going to be Sachiro Yamazaki coming on in relief, as Daiki Tajima's night is done. A fantastic start by the left-hander, 7 shutout innings. Now it is going to be the bullpen of the Buffaloes that are going to try to bring it home for them here tonight. So Chichiro Yamazaki on in relief. And he is going to be facing Seiya Kanami here. Kanami tonight has been on base once. He was intentionally walked in the 2nd inning, and he had a sacrifice bunt back in the 5th. And he takes a first pitch fastball for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Background Extra jumped in. He says, thanks for streaming the series. It's been fun getting up early and getting a chance to listen. We appreciate you for hanging out here with us. Fastball taken for a call and strike, and the count goes to 1-1 on Kanami. There's a fastball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. Yeah, we like doing it. We did this year. We didn't do as many games as we did last year. We started doing the games a couple of years ago, and I hope to think that we're a lot better in terms of our product of what we've been able to do. There's a fastball swung on, and it's chopped over to second. Adachi feels it, and he throws it over the head of Gonzalez. That's going to be an error. Oh, boy. That's going to go in the books. We're going to see it. I don't know if it got into the dugout or not, or into the stands, and if it did, it's going to advance Kanami over to second base. So that's going to be E4 on Adachi. Not a good play by him. He got it, and he fielded it, and he threw on the run where he really didn't set his feet. That was an easy enough play. If he sets his feet, they would have been able to retire Kanami easily. But he is over at second base. That's the fifth error of the ball game between the two teams. We do have a pinch hitter coming up here. It is going to be Itohara. So Itohara coming in to pinch hit here for the pitcher Yuasa. I have to go back and taking a look here. Our friend Analog Geek says, what is your favorite Japanese food? Well, I like ramen, and the ramen scene in Vancouver is pretty good. Fastball misses upstairs to Itohara, and the count is quickly 1-0. Itohara came in last night's game as he replaced Sato at third. So Kento Itohara here hitting in the pitcher's spot. Here's the 1-0. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. So probably easily Ramen would be number one, and then after that, I'm not sure what else we would have to say. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-1. William Scott says, I'm sure y'all like to watch Major League Baseball in person and would love to see people with kegs that walk around to stand selling beer on the portable tap as opposed to the cans. Yeah, it's kind of entertaining watching the beer girls get around the stands in Japan. Fastball swung on it is tapped foul over on the first base side. The count now is 2-2 to Itohara. I got a buddy of mine who is Venezuelan, and he used to tell me that in Venezuela, they would sell you beer by the box, and you take it to your seat. So you could buy like a 12-pack or a 6-pack and bring it to your seat to watch the game. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, and that's going to hit hammered foul over on the third base side. The count is 2-2. So I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was saying in Detroit, it's like nearly $10 a beer. So for a 6-pack, you'd be paying $60 US. That's crazy for 6 beers. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2. Sean says, what's amazing is they serve any type of cheap alcohol you can imagine. Whiskey sodas, lemon sours. It's so food. It's so good. Here's the pitch. Fastball lifted into left field. This ball is going to bleed down for a base hit. And that is stopping at third is the base runner Kanami. That's going to put runners on the corners. Itohara with a base hit. And the Tigers have something brewing here in the 8th inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order and Koji Chikamoto. And it is lots of high fives for Itohara as he gets back to the dugout. We're going to have a pinch runner coming up for him. That ball was a bleeder that bled into left field. Looks like the left fielder is Haruka now as they've moved Nakagawa into center. So runners at the corners, and Koji Chikamoto coming to the plate. Chikamoto's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's flown to center, and he has struck out in his other 2. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's tapped foul over on the first base side. Count runs to 1-0 on Chikamoto. Our friend Sean says he used to go to the Oakland Coliseum and sneak in Pabst Blue Ribbons when they had a lax security. Yeah, those were the days. I think those are long gone. Now you can't get through metal detectors anywhere. Fastball swung on. This ball's hit through the 4-hole into right field. It's going to be a base hit. That's going to get the first run on the board for the Tigers. Stopping at second is the pinch runner for Itohara, as Chikamoto has got himself a single and an RBI. They've cut the lead to 2-1. And there's still nobody out, and the Tigers are still batting here in the 8th. Our friend William says if you are in Japan, go to a steakhouse for a fast dinner. Served on iron skillets with your choice of sauce and comes out in 5 minutes. Unfortunately, I can't eat red meat these days other than pork. That doesn't bother me, but everything else becomes a bout of gout. And the conference on the mound is over as the pitching coach is going to head back to the dugout. It's going to bring up Takuma Nakano, and one would anticipate that Nakano is going to be bunting here in this situation. A runner at first is Chikamoto. The runner at second is the pinch runner. We'll have to get a gauge on who that pinch runner is. It looks like it's Ueda who is in the pinch run for Itohara. And just as we are in this situation, we have got ourselves, our feed has gone down, so just bear with us for a moment as we get this one back into the full swing of things. So we're just slightly behind. Two to one here is the score line. Nakano here coming to the plate. He is 1 for 2. Runners are at first and second. And they are definitely preparing for the bunt here as Nakano squares. They pitch out. They throw down to second. Oh, what a gutsy play that was. They tried to get the pinch runner, Ueda, leading a little bit too far. But he was able to finally dive back. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nakano. As the right-hander holds himself set, now he delivers. It's bunted and is fielded by the catcher, Mori. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Nakano. That's going to go down as a sacrifice. It's going to go into the books as a putout 2-4. He's gone for the first out. It's going to advance Ueda over to third. And it also is going to put Chikamoto over at second. So they got runners at second and third with 1 gone, and it's going to bring up the right fielder, Shota Morishita. And by the looks of it, that is going to be the end of the night for the pitcher here, as the manager, Nakajima, is on his way out to the mound. He's going to take the ball from Yamazaki, and we're going to have ourselves a little break here yet again. Appreciate you guys for listening in. We're going to take a time out here. Hang tight, everybody. We're going to the bullpen. We got ourselves another pitching change. That's going to be the end of the night. And we got our A feed back up, but it is a little behind. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with all the action right after this pitching change. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Shota Morishita coming to bat. We're just getting a confirmation on who the pitching change is, but this inning here got going on the error by Rio Adachi, as Seiya Kanami was able to reach safely. Then it was a single by Kento Itohara, as that had put runners on the corners, and then up stepped Koji Chikamoto, who had a base hit single to drive home with Kanami. The first run for the Tigers, that cut the lead to 2-1. Well, interestingly enough, it is going to be Yuki Utagawa coming in. This is the one thing I'm always interested to watch here in the Japanese league. Utagawa is making his third consecutive appearance, as he appeared in last night's ball game, as he did in the Tuesday game. Utagawa is going to be facing the pitcher Morishita. I know in Major League Baseball, it is very rare that you see the relievers will come in 3 days in a row. 2 days for sure, but we're not sure about 3. I'm not sure who our friend is with the Japanese script, as we don't read the Japanese, but they say, "Go Tigers." We welcome you to the stream as well. So here comes the first offering from Utagawa, who kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Morishita. Morishita tonight is 0 for 3. He has bounced into a fielder's choice. He has grounded into a double play, and he has popped out to the second baseman. And here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. Right now, there's runners at second and third with one gone, as our friend RXD says. Wanted to know. Analog says, does the winner of this game win the Japan series? Nope, the series is tied at 2. The winner of this series will win the Japan series, of course, but the next game is Saturday night. First team to 4 wins will win the Japan series. Of course, if this game ends up as a tie, we talked about it, this game could go 12 innings. And end in a tie. And that throw a wrench into a lot of things. Here we go. Here comes the pitch. 2-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Analog Geek says, if the winner of this game wins the series, if this game goes 12 innings and ends in a tie, I called that earlier on. I said I wouldn't be bat an eye at that. Tigers tie it up, and then they go 12. And then the next thing you know is we're playing 2 games Saturday and Sunday. And imagine if those games were split, then it ends up that we'd be playing on, I believe, the Monday or possibly the Tuesday for all the marbles. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as Utagawa kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. It's tap foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 2-2 to Morishita. So that would present a whole host of interest. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second is Chikamoto. Runner at third is Ueda. Morishita looking to cash in the tying run. Infield is in here for the Buffaloes. And the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit foul, just scooted by the runner coming down the line from third. Keeps the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So if there is a winner in this game, then I would have to say that, yeah, there is a great chance that they would probably win the series. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is, as Utagawa nods in agreement with his catcher Wakatsuki. He works himself to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. This is going to be up the gap and all the way to the wall. It's going to get 2 Tigers in. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Morishita digging around second, heading to third, and he's going to slide in safely with a triple. And just like that, the Tigers have taken the lead here, 3-2, on a 2-run triple by Shota Morishita. Oh boy. He hit that ball into the pole gap. It went all the way to the wall. Ueda scores the second run, and Chikamoto scores the third run. And the Tigers are now in the driver's seat here. And that's going to bring up Yusuke Oyama to the plate. Absolutely. A go-ahead triple is what has happened here. Unbelievable. So the Tigers were on their deathbed coming into the inning. I kind of wondered in the back of my mind, should they just stay with Tajima, or they went obviously to the pitcher Yamazaki. And I'd have to say this, that it wasn't necessarily all Yamazaki's fault. The error to start the inning by Adachi got the ball rolling and the momentum going for the Tigers. And so Yuki Utagawa having to take a deep breath here. He's going to have to face Yusuke Oyama here with a runner at third. And still only one gone. So Oyama has a chance to pad the lead here. And we welcome, I hope I say this right, Mawalkis Funisoa to the stream. I apologize if I've messed up your name. He says, never count these Tigers out, as they are the best team, and they both have won many games late. Yeah, once they get into the bullpens, and they do have a scrappy team, do the Tigers. 0 for 3 tonight is Oyama. He is 4 for 28 in the playoffs, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Our friend, the Analog Geek, asks the question, who is the Tigers' closer? As the pitch is on the way, it is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2. I believe that is Iwasada. That'd be Yuta Iwasada, if I'm not mistaken. So no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is on the way from Utagawa. It's a fastball that misses down. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Runner at third is Morishita. The 1 gone here. And I was just saying earlier on about pitchers not coming in 3 nights in a row. This is Utagawa's 3rd night. I think I probably would have rolled somebody else in this situation. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into center field for a base hit. That's going to get the 4th run of the inning home, as Morishita is going to score. That's a single here for Oyama. He's got himself an RBI, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. Our friend Sean Crosby said 2 quick strikes, and the next thing you know, there's the base hit. And that looks like it's going to be, there's hugs all the way around as Morishita has scored the run. Oyama has out of the ball game. Looks like we're going to have a runner for him. High fives all the way around for the Tigers first baseman. That was a tough pitch too. It was a split finger pitch that was down, and Oyama golfed it into center field for the base hit. And Utagawa looked like he was sick to his stomach. A big time crooked number on the board. 4-2, the Tigers have the lead. And Utagawa is getting some consolation here from the catcher Wakatsuki, and it looks like we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back with all the action. Utagawa's night is done. Buffaloes are going to the pen, now down 2.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. You want to learn about Japanese baseball? See Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want to baseball instruction? See Coach Fred. You want to learn about golf? Do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Well, back in just a couple moments, we have a 4-2 lead for the Tigers as they are in the bottom of the 8th inning. It is a right-hander coming in, and it looks like it's Shota Abbey. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. Shota Abbey has completed his warm-up tosses, and he is going to be facing Sheldon Noisy here. And the first pitch is a fastball that just misses low and in, and the count is 1-0. Noisy 0 for 3 tonight in this one. He's grounded out. He has flown to center, and he has grounded to short. As the right-hander Abbey gets the sign from his catcher, and he works to the belt. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. We were asked a question last night of who we would compare teams to. I would have to say that the Hanshin Tigers have got to be in the class with the Chicago Cubs. Lovable team and loved by all, but certainly have had their struggles over the years. This would put them in the driver's seat going back to the Kyocera Dome. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3 balls and no strikes on Noisy. Noisy to be followed by Teruaki Sato here. Should he be able to reach safely and stay out of a double play potentially in this situation? So 3-0 here as Abbey holds to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. Fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count goes to 3-1. Robert says there's a lot of Tiger fans in Okinawa. Our friend Penguin Hunter back in here. We appreciate you for listening in. Thanks for being with us tonight. MD Mob back in the house here tonight too. There's a fastball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. And Noisy's going to draw himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. And it's going to bring Teruaki Sato to the plate. And it looks like Noisy's night is going to be done as Shimada is going to come in to run for him. So Noisy does his job. And Shimada is coming in to be the pinch runner. Oyama the runner at second, Shimada the runner at first, and Sato stepping to the dish. Our friend the Analog Geek says Tigers are basically the Cubs, Red Sox all together. Yeah, I guess so. Penguin Hunter says Red Sox aren't hated until they started to win. Yes. Amazing what that does to other people. There's a fastball that swung on. This ball is popped up behind home plate. Underneath it is Wakatsuki. He's got room and he's battling the wind and he makes the catch as he falls to one knee. Oh boy, that almost was a foul ball that wasn't taken in for the out. So Sato is gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Shiro Sakamoto. Sakamoto comes to bat. It means that they have sent 9 hitters to the plate in the inning. Have the Tigers as they've plated 4 runs here. Our friend Anton in the house, he says it is a crazy game tonight. Yes, it is. So 4-2 lead here. Of course, there is our friend God is Great. He says, go Tigers. We knew you'd be lurking around here. Long-termer in the house here. Welcome. Appreciate you for being here as well. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Sakamoto. Says cheering for the Tigers in a full house of Oryx fans. There you go. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball just misses low, and the count now goes to 1-1. And Saturday night, as I said, I can see it being Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the hill. And he has got an opportunity to pitch in the big game for the Buffaloes. And I would think Miyagi would go on Sunday if that's how the Buffaloes would line things up. That's my guess. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. But Yamamoto would have to get out there and absolutely deal on Saturday night to force the Game 7. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Abby here rubs up the baseball, ready to face Sakamoto again. As we said, the runner at second, Oyama. The runner at first is the pinch runner, Shimada. And here's the pitch. Fastball miss. Woo, fastball caught the inside corner. Oh, I'm not so sure about that one. Boy, oh boy, I thought the reaction there was going to be a ball. The home plate umpire came up with a right hand there. I don't know about that. I'd like to see that on the replay. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If we had the automated umpires, I'd be tapping the helmet quick. So here comes the 2-2 offering as the right-hander holds set. Abby delivers. Fastball swung on. Tap foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 2-2. They'll be heading to the top of the 9th inning with a minimum of a 4-2 lead for the Tigers. They've got runners at first and second. They're hunting for more. Shota Abbey takes a breath. Here we go. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As he nods in agreement with his catcher, Wakatsuki. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. Well, the runners are going to be on the move here, as it is a full count. Once Abbey delivers to the plate, they're going to be off to the races. Base hit here would definitely score 1. Anything into the gaps would probably cash it 2 with the runners in motion. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander holds to the belt. And now he kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, pop foul behind home plate, and the count is going to remain at 3-2. When the Buffaloes come to bat in their half of the 9th inning, it's the pitcher's spot slated. And that'll be the top of the order, Haruka and Mune to follow. That's what we have. So the Buffaloes will need to find some base runners and some instant runs in the top of the 9th if they're going to get back into this one. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. This ball is going to get trouble, and it's going to be over the head of the right fielder, Mori, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Sakamoto is digging for third, and he is going to reach there safely with a 2-run triple, and that is going to add to the lead. It is now a 6-2 lead here for the Tigers. They have batted around. It'll be hitter number 10 coming to the plate. The outfield had to be shallow because any type of base hit, they had to try to throw the runners out at the plate. And when the ball got smoked over the heads of the outfielders and went all the way to the wall, Sakamoto is standing on third with the triple. 2 RBIs. Unbelievable. Anton says it's over. Well, I got to tell you, The drinks will be flowing a little faster in Osaka right now. The wheels have fallen off the apple cart. Yes, what a collapse by the Buffaloes here in the 8th inning. Back of my mind, I was saying, why is Tajima coming out? I mean, hindsight's always 20/20 now at this point. Here's the pitch to Kanami. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. And of course, the error to start the inning by Ryo Adachi didn't help the cause. Sean Crosby says 2 triples in 1 inning. Yeah, you also have to realize, too, that the outfield is playing shallow because of the position. They have to try to throw a runner out at the plate on a base hit single. So anything elevated over their heads is going to be a problem. And there's a fastball swung on, grounded to second. Adachi fields this one. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's going to be a ground out 4-3 to end the inning. But lots of damage done here. 6 runs in the inning by the Hanshin Tigers on the benefit of 5 hits. There was the error, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the 9th inning. It is the Tigers 6 and the Buffaloes 2. What a turn of events have happened here. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters to come to the order. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Stay with us for the top of the 9th. We're about to find out if the Tigers can bring this one home in just a few. I'll be right back after this. It is going to be the bottom of the 9th, or the top of the 9th inning, as the Buffaloes will come to bat, and it will be a pitching change. So we'll hang tight in just a second. It's no longer a safe situation, but we are anticipating Iwasaki coming into the ball game. Hang tight, everybody. We'll get you all that information in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight for all of the action. The 2-run triple by Sakamoto padded the lead here, so now it's a 4-run cushion. Yuki Utagawa, as well as Sachiro Yamazaki and Shota Abe all getting roughed up in the 8th inning. As we said, it was the part that had got going with the error to begin the inning. Iwasaki is on the mound. He is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here in just a moment. As we said, it's no longer a safe situation, but that being said, you don't want to take any chances here. They'll bring Iwasaki in to have to slam the door. Iwasaki had 60 appearances in the regular season. He was 3-3 with 35 saves. And he had a microscopic ERA of 1.77. And the first pitch as a fastball delivered for a called strike, and the count is quickly no balls and 1 strike. We have a pinch hitter here, and we're just trying to pull up who the pinch hitter will be. That's Koji Oshiro. And he pitches a fastball swung on and fouled away, and Oshiro is now in the hole at 0-2. Oshiro is hitting in the pitcher spot in the batting order. And it'll be Haruka and Mune to follow here. No balls and 2 strikes as the lefty Saki delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count remains at 0-2. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field, but it's going to hang up enough for Morishita to haul it in, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. So one gone here. It'll be the top of the order, Taishi Haruka, to come to bat. Our friend Anton says this year's Tigers really clicked at the right time, and that's coming from a Bay Stars fan. Yeah, certainly the Bay Stars did not have that luck against the Carp. Certainly losing Trevor Bauer when they did an untimely injury. It definitely hurt. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Haruka. Haruka 0 for 4 tonight. Ground out, 2 flyouts and a pop out. As there's a breaking ball missing down, and the count goes even to 1-1. Friend Dino in the house tonight. Welcome you to the stream as well. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 1-2 on Haruka. Just as a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves again Saturday. It is going to be at 6:30 p.m. local time. Our friend, the Analog Geek, says Bauer wasn't spectacular, though, was he? Absolutely he was. Player of the month in June, player of the month in August. After he sorted out the first 3 starts, he was absolutely electric, won double-digit games. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Haruka, as the pitch is a fastball swung on and a line foul down the right field line. Count remains at 1-2. He was at a point where ERA was sub-3. He was starting to get into the low 2s. There comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Giving chase is the right fielder, Morishita, but that ball is just going to slice into the seats. That's going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Here comes the offering here as the lefty delivers. Slow breaking ball that misses way upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Haruka. And there is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Haruka goes down on strikes. He's gone for out number 2. That's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Yuma Mune. So 2 gone here in the 9th inning. Mune stepping to the plate. As Iwazaki looking to close it off. Yeah, the game is on delay, so when people are putting the spoilers in here, that's never cool. So there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field. And making the catch is Chikamoto, and that is going to do it as Mune is going to make the 3rd out of the inning. And they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your final score is a 6-2 final here as the Buffaloes coughed up a 2-0 lead in the 8th inning, and the Tigers poured 6 on the board. We'll come back and wrap it up in just a couple of moments. We appreciate everybody for being here and listening in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. And if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Once again, everybody, we appreciate y'all for listening in. We'll give you the quick recap of the scoring in this one, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. The Buffaloes got the scoring opened in the fourth inning when Marwin Gonzalez hit a solo shot to left center field. It was a 1-0 lead. The Buffaloes added to their lead in the seventh inning. A leadoff walk to Daiki Tajima, and then after Taiki Haruka popped out, it was Yuma Mune who hit into a fielder's choice. And Tomoya Mori reached on an error, and that was able to eventually cash in Mune because there was two errors on the play. Mune ended up coming around to score. It was an error by the second baseman, and then the right fielder, Morishita, made the error in picking up the ball, and Mune came all the way around to score. That doubled the lead to 2-0. It looked like the Buffaloes were cruising at that point. Well, then came the pitching change in the eighth inning, and that's where the Tigers did all the damage. They sent 10 batters to the plate. An error by the second baseman, Adachi, allowed Kanami to reach. And then it was a single by the pinch hitter, Ito Ohara. Put runners at first and second. Up stepped Koji Chikamoto, and he drove home Kanami to make the score 2-1. After Nakano bunted the runners over to second and third, it was Shota Morishita who stepped up and had a 2-run triple. Yusuke Oyama followed up with an RBI single, and there was a walk to Sheldon Noisy. And after a pop-out by Sato, up stepped Seishiro Sakamoto, and he drilled a 2-run triple, and that made the scoreline 6-2, and that's where this game ended. Once again, everybody, we do appreciate you guys for listening in. As we said, I'm going to go back to one of the things at the top of the ball game. My keys to victory for the Buffaloes were going to be that the top of the order needs to continue to roll, and that didn't necessarily happen tonight. They weren't exactly setting the table for the rest of the ball club tonight in this one. And also to the Buffaloes, we said the middle of the order had to get some things going. Well, certainly Gonzalez did his part by driving in runs. And then we said Tajima had to get ahead in the counts, and he certainly did. But the Tigers' top of the order was able to produce, and the middle part was driving in runs. And that is how this game ended. And so the keys to success were certainly ticked off more by the Hanshin Tigers than they were for the Buffaloes. Everybody who popped into the stream tonight, whether it be Sean, the Analog Geek, Louie, MD Mob, Influence, we had Robert, we had all kinds of people. God is great. Anton, long-termer, everybody else who had stuck their head in here that we missed. We appreciate you guys for listening to us make the call tonight. Once again, we'll be back on Saturday. It'll be 2:30 a.m. Pacific time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern. That'll be game 6 that will get underway. And then what we'll do is we will call that one. And if there is a game 7, we'll be back on the air on Sunday. And those games are at 6:30 Japan time. Once again, everybody, you've watched the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys and your support. We'll see you again on the weekend.